Subscribe to your favorite YouTuber, of course. Lots of information this week. Information is flowing. Shout out to the people in the info lounge. Just putting together great info and maintaining a sense of urgency as far as where I'm taking the urban conservative in this channel and my main channel, which is Coffee and Kush TV, which received 2 strikes. So I'm not playing. I'm taking strikes for my audience. Just to present the truth. Oh yeah, it's a lot of work to be done. Press 1. Yeah, all that fooling around. Yeah. All that fooling around and fake. I call it fake. I don't know what everybody else call it. But my study process is hours on end. That shit is hours on end. I ain't got time to play. I be losing money telling you the truth, and you ain't making up with it with calling in and staying directed on the topic. So I can't stay in that boat too much longer with you. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm a nice dude. I know I'm a cool ass nigga. But again, it's the role, and I am the professor. You feel me? I got a lot of people riding with the gills for real. That's really in the background putting together this awesome information for the last 6 months. When I needed people to step up, everybody left. Everybody left a nigga, and the harder I got on the success of the show and the information, the less people I seen. The more I fooled around and talk shit and play around with people and watch movies and chill out, everybody there. But the more serious I got about my craft and what I wanted to do with the remainder of the audience, the people who wasn't on my Discord or following me and stuff like that, less and less interaction, and that's fine, because it made me work harder. It made me go through certain things like damn. So really in life, it's you. So that's a whole transformation, because I'm such a we can do it as nigga. Press 1. I'm like, yeah, we. But the reality of there's no we when it's time to get the work done. And there ain't no we. There's a lot of other things going on in the world that people got responsibility for and owe their allegiance to, and that's fine. But I work hard at what I do, and I've been doing this long enough to know what not to be around and who's really saying that's a good information line. That's a show I want to be involved with eventually one day. That's you know what I'm saying? Rather than me always, overextending myself. Because not everybody take what I do as serious as I do. Getting you the information in a biblical fashion and accordance to history in which you can understand, not everybody can do that. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to the people in the background that's just like researching specific things that add up to biblical and historical events. That's how I like to put my facts. It's one thing to play music. We can all get up here and play music and try to find creative ways, but that's just who I am. I'm gonna kick it just like this, and I'm not getting stressed out behind the internet. You know what I'm saying? I've already said last year that I was separating myself. I was just going to present this information, and those who was presenting the information with me, that's who I'm riding with. If not, I'm going to do my shows and I'm getting the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? We just watched the rise and fall of young Pharaoh and all these people. I watch this internet build these people up and crash these people in some rat race for fame. You know what I'm saying? In some hidden rat race to be famous, just watch themselves just go off the deep end. And my mind is stable. I'm healthy. I feel good, and I like where my mind is when we stay on these topics. When it's according, we still got to get to the catacombs. Press 1. We still got to get to the catacombs. We in World War I, World War II, and now Kev Gills and the team is introducing how these Indians ain't who they say they is. Press 1, and one of the biggest Indian supporters out there, Dan Calloway and Kareemio, One of them say they live on the back of a turtle shell floating around the universe from the Niji people, and the other one say that the Native Americans that they brought over here, the Mongoloid, Asian, Japan people, press 1, that helped steal your legacy in the Dawes Road, press 1, are the one, is the old people too. No, they are not. Press 1, those are not your people, and those are not the Native Americans. They are who the federal government deemed Native American. Of course, in the 1900s, press 1. Of course, you feel me? Of course, but it's important that this information get out there. You know, there was a Dawes Road. See, Karimio don't talk about the Dawes Road because he's a conquistador. Press 1. He don't want you to know those people are with the federal government and fucked you out your land. Press 1. So why Dan Calloway want to be an Indian so bad? Why the other one over there trying to convince you that you are in him is like this, so he can have a pass and this blessing our people who've been longer waiting on Christ, because that's what this is about. I ain't talking about people with a handout who want a federal handout. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about a real kingdom. You feel me? A kingdom you couldn't even fathom, because your brain is so mind controlled on Nazi propaganda. You so doped up on drugs. Press what? We've been working in the background. Y'all don't understand. Y'all say, why Kev be going so mean? I don't give a damn. That's because the females that I talk to, they smart than a motherfucker. Say it again, brother. I'ma say it again. And I get mad when I talk to niggas and they not on the women level. The women is the regular level. And you ain't there, but you know everything wrong with a woman that you can't marry her ass after having some babies with her. Your ass in there watching Kevin Samuel. Press 1. Very intriguing. But you don't know nothing about history. Ain't nothing on your brain. That's why she ain't fucking with you like that. Press 1. All the get money broads is fucking with the smart niggas now. Press 1. Ain't nothing on. It used to be Malcolm X spent all this time talking about what a good wife is and how she need. Now all the women is smart and the niggas is just on some. Yeah, my nigga, look at my girl, fat ass. Press what? They just fucked up out here. Our people is messed up. So the females, of course, came up with an excellent video for us to watch, and. Shout out to Aileen. Shout out to you, because you and the video that you sent me yesterday is so on point. I mean, I have to show it to today. So, and this morning, to prove a point to not just Karimio, to all these people who think I'm just making up that you're not some Indian because I'm smiling, I'm handsome. Ain't no way this Negro. Press 1 is what actually waking us up. Press 1. They don't want a person like myself having an epiphany, a real epiphany, a real biblical moment, you know. No, not us. That's how low we think of ourselves. No, we don't know the answer. We don't know. We need it from somebody else. No, you need it from your people. Somebody who walked the walk with you. That's the thing about me. I was thrown in the poverty like this one. Bam, like you was, like a dryer. Bloop, 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 like a tumbling dryer. You just thrown in it. Some of us went sideways, upside down, turned into criminal. Pyru. Press 1. A lot of us just sat back and said, damn, there's some fucked up shit. A lot of us, some of us, very few of us know how to adequately see what the setup is. You don't get many of these individuals. Most of us go to jail. We end up drinking too much malt liquor, getting tattoos on our face, becoming more and more less and less believable, but not able to let their real self shine. You feel me? Where I come from, they got tattoos everywhere and a bunch of numbers everywhere. They don't know how to express themselves. You know what I'm saying? So to me, them niggas look at me like, damn, Kev, you could really talk. And I'm like, you can talk too, bro, when we chilling. No, man, but that That ain't me, bro. You don't think, you think that's you with the numbers on your face. That's the problem. You see 55 Crip Mac shining like a motherfucker with no teeth in his mouth. No teeth, getting beat up and everything. Stardom. The whole DP process makes me want to go get a DP. I ain't been to the hood in a while, fellas. I'm going back to my neighborhood and I ain't been around here for a minute. Press one. I need a DP. I saw Quick Mac.
Shame.
His popularity grew. It just beat me up. Here, get it on film. We're gonna break the rules and beat up Kev. Fuck it. Oh my goodness. So today I want to show y'all once again, this ain't got nothing to, well, it really do, because Karimio is a so-called teacher in that Pan-African. You notice they ain't even said nothing. Karimio is having a hard time getting on the internet. I don't know, bro. I didn't mean to do that to you like that, but being a conquistador, you know what I'm saying? That means you was a Spaniard. That means you are Christopher Columbus, and so you are terminated, sir. Get your belongings. Press one. Some things in our community just make you out like 3 X's in a row. Like, oh, bro, and you got to sit there like, oh, that ain't fair. It is fair. You shouldn't be perfect. Press one. You shouldn't have been perfect. We accept all type of people. That's regular. Press one. That's who they are. I don't know why niggas got a start trying to make us believe another history so they can get the blessing. See, the thing about Karimio and the Spaniard, they want us. I ain't talking about Mexicans or nothing. I'm talking about Karimio. The Mongol. They want you to fight for their civil right. Amen. Our whole civil right, everything that happened, our whole sacrifice, press one, was for them. And they did us like this. Our whole civil rights activists was for them. You thought that was for you? No, you better type in the years of the Native American civil rights. That was you. You keep giving this Karimio and his people, because you not understanding language. They're in front of you laughing in your face, playing Indian flute music. Press one. Making a couple dollars off your stupidity. Everybody makes money off your stupidity. You the most valuable stupid person on earth. You believe me? Yeah, you do. Yeah, you the most valuable one. Press one. Shout out to Aileen, aka my moderator, for sending me this beautiful video. This should make you throw up. This video should make you puke. Press one. I want you to know right now, these are the Indians. When you send me information, it better be based off a biblical event. These, they stole everything. Press one. Everything. Just trying to get this picture right. You know, I'm one of those people who can break this stuff down real. I'm real surgical with this shit. Press one. I'm real surgical. Karimio want me to believe that he is me and I'm them. I'm Asian. I'm Chinese. I'm El Chino. Only when I'm high, fool. Only when I don't smoke some weed. Press one. Only I'm El Chino. All right. Press one. El Chino. Black people. When they called y'all, they used to call, he say us. They used to call us El Chino. No, they did never call us no damn El Chino, fool. And we didn't go through no goddamn. We didn't go through no damn evolution coming from European knights and nobility to savagery, back up to the American Negro. What we going through? Evolution in 100 years? Press one. What we doing? Going through evolution, fool? Press one. I ain't no fool. I ain't no sucker. I really study. I'm up in the middle. That's why I wake up mad, ready to teach. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to get somebody to make me mad. Press 1 so I can get on here on fire. Press 1. I get up here. I'm looking for somebody to piss me off so I can teach just like this. You can't do nothing unless you're mad. I keep telling you. You can't even think. You want to study, man. Just study with aggression. Whatever you do, go hard. Now listen to this, y'all. This has got to be the worst 12 minutes I ever seen in my life. These white folk and these Indians and these North African traitors. Let's get to it. I'm going to push play. Shout out to my man over there.
In recent years, Indian tribes across the country have reaped windfall profits, usually from gambling operations, and some, like the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma, from belated government payouts for lands taken hundreds of years ago. But what makes the Seminoles unique is the fact that this tribe, unlike any other, has existed for nearly 3 centuries as a mixture of Indians and blacks, runaway slaves who joined the Indians as warriors in Florida. Together, they fought government troops in some of the bloodiest wars in U.S. history. In the late 1830s, the Seminoles lost their land and were forced to a new Indian home in what is now Oklahoma. Over the years, some of them intermarried, and that blurred the color lines even further. Now, the government is paying the tribe $56 million for those lost Florida lands, and the money is threatening to divide a nation. Talk to Seminole Chief Jerry Haney. He says the black members are no longer welcome by many in the tribe. After 300 years together, the chief says the tribe wants them to either prove they're Indian or get out.
Now, pause. Press 1. Pause. Press 1. Did I told you? I told you. Well, where's the conquistador at? Let me get my conquistador back up here on this TV. Since you want to debate care. You see this clown? You see this clown? Huh? You and your people don't robbed us at the Dawes Roll with the federal government. Federal government start giving payouts, and guess who get the payouts? These people. Press 1. You see what I'm saying? These people. I told you what y'all was doing in the 1800s and all that. Do you know that the term Seminole means runaway slave? Press 1. There ain't no Indians running away, no damn runaway slave. The term Seminole itself is runaway slave. Just listen to this lady. She gonna tell you the truth. Watch this one.
What are you hoping that the black Seminoles will do now? Are you hoping they will just pack up and go away?
Go?
I would hope so.
I will hope so. You hear him, Karimio? I hope so. This is what they did to us. These federal Indian, these Japanese and Mongol, Khan. This is what happened. The European, in association with these people, came and ripped your name from up under you, took your name, family. He ain't signed no document that say White Horse, whatever chief Indian. He signed it with a real name. What's the name he used? Right there. Airport. Ain't no Mongol on earth named Johnson, Mitchell. None of this stuff, family. This is a dream world federalized corporate banking policy production team called the Harry S. Truman Show. Press 1. Y'all looking at me, I'm looking at you. Press 1. I'm trying to see what the hell. Do you see what I see? Or are you caught up in your damn feelings? Press 1. Huh? I'm approve it all. We gonna his name Washington, Todd. Todd, they name Washington. A federal coup, Amanda says. Shout out to you. There's an El Chino right there, says Mama Ryden. Ain't gonna call us El Chino. It's good to see this classroom like this.
So if they're black and they can't prove that they have Indian blood, go away.
Basically,
How you gonna prove you got
that's what we're saying.
Indian blood when 2 different roles was taken for the blacks? Let's get to it. That's racist.
Harsh words
That's
from the
racist.
Seminole chief for the 2,000 black members of this mixed Indian tribe. In response, they say they're just as much Seminole as he.
Now check this out. They not talking about these people. These is East Indians, North Africans, Turks, Asiatic people. They can say they're Native American. But if you can't prove that you won, that you were here, because your ass filled up for the Dawes roll and they fucked you over, which you did, there is no proof. Press 1. They fucked us real good. And then this one say, well, if you can't prove that you was here, nigga, you in all of our pictures. What you talking about? And this is the switch. This is the switch you got to watch out for. Let's go.
Is.
I fished in these woods, I hunted in these woods, I went to stomp dances just like the regular Seminoles did, and I never knew I was any different for a long time.
On any given Sunday, go with Loretta Guest to the Indian Baptist Church in Seminole County, Oklahoma, and you'll find red and black Seminoles praying together, singing hymns in Seminole, sharing meals, and catching up on tribal news.
Hi, dog.
Walk with her through the Indian cemetery out back, and you'll find their ancestors are buried together as well.
My aunt is next to him.
Were there any distinctions made as to, you all are the black Seminoles, we're nice to you, but you're the black Seminoles?
No, nothing like that. We've always been treated as one to another. No difference at all.
It was an alliance that began more than 300 years ago in Florida when runaway slaves and different Indian tribes sought refuge together and later fought the white man. Joe Opala
Sounds good, huh? And together fought the white man. Right.
a history professor at James Madison University in Virginia, says that from the beginning it was a melting pot tribe. So these people all banded together and somehow became Seminole?
Became Seminole, and in fact the word Seminole is not even an Indian word. It is derived from a Spanish word, cimarron, meaning runaway slave.
We got a Cimarron in Los Angeles. Press 1, Spaniard. Press 1, Spaniard. We got a Cimarron. Niggas in LA know what I'm talking about. They know where Cimarron is. You can type in Cimarron. But it... Switches all day, every day.
And so from the beginning, you don't have an Indian tribe. It was a multi-ethnic
It was a Negro tribe, a band of militia runaway Negroes. That's what it was, and it's so hard for them to say.
Historical evidence documents their close relationship. Blacks became chiefs, signed treaties, and served on the tribal council. They intermarried. They were
Blacks became chiefs and signed treaty. Blacks became chiefs and signed treaty. They ain't on the treaty. You on the treaty. I've been telling you this whole time. They just have a funny way of manipulating to where you think
equals, Opala says, and the Indians depended on them as warriors and interpreters. So there absolutely is proof of the black Seminole importance to the tribe.
Absolutely. There's a lot of intelligence information that passes back to Washington. For instance, General Jessup, the commanding general, writes back at one point to the War Department and says, the Negroes rule the Indians. What he was referring to was the fact that no significant decision was ever taken in the Seminole councils.
Press 1. The Negroes did what? The Negroes what? They are the landlords, G. They don't just rule over them. They're squatters. They don't have a, what's the name? We already established, what did they pay George Washington Gillespie every April? I've already established this. It's already, the proof is just in the pudding. The cake is almost baked, Woody. They ain't even had no money. You pay us some reindeer skins and stuff like this one. We'll make a business out of it. You can stay right there. Right there. Y'all people don't lost. This is real black history right here. That's what this is. I'm giving y'all the real black history.
Unless the black members agreed to it.
When the Red and Black Seminoles were forced out of Florida in the 1830s, they traveled together hundreds and hundreds of miles by boat and on foot, passing through this barren place on the banks of the Arkansas River all the way to Oklahoma. It was a long and difficult journey, referred to as their Trail of Tears.
I don't know why though afros and little nappy head little boys in these little illustrations they got, because that's what it was.
For the many who died along the way. Now, nearly 200 years later, comes the $56 million payment from the federal government to compensate the tribe for those lost Florida lands. But the Black Seminoles can't share in it because the government and the tribe say they were slaves of the Red Seminoles back then, and as slaves could not have owned land.
Now pause. We just already proven that they were the slaves. The Negroes ruled over them. See? Now hold up now. See?
Shame.
But now
Shame.
they can't own nothing.
Shame.
What the hell do ruled over mean in Washington? You see how they fucked you? And then say, oh, because you actually served the red man. No, you didn't. You ain't never in your life worked for no red man and no damn TP. Living out there somewhere. Never. Ever. You see, when you know history, do you see how scrambled up we been delusion? Like we been drunk with the spirit of goddamn Babylon? When you able to perceive history, you see how critical this information is. You see how important it is to relay this back to you and find some way to make it simple enough that the simple man can understand. If I gotta smoke a blunt with you, I will. You feel me? Ask my homeboy Marquis. Nigga, I will break nigga if I got to, bro. I will sit right there and make sure you understand what they saying on the damn TV, bro. Fact. You ain't never had a friend like me, like Pac say. Never. So you can grow mentally and I'll be able to explain when you at home chilling with your girl, your mind ain't based on the shit that she talking about, rapping, entertainment, and what she like. You can say, baby, look, I've been really thinking about something. Y'all, you can actually see what there's to talk about in y'all boring ass households out there, because y'all bored as hell. That's why y'all fucking and sucking on everything.
Shame.
And licking on everything.
Shame.
Because you bored. You ain't got no intelligence. You ain't got shit to do. You trying to get a government handout because you bored. You just want more and more. You're bored. Ain't nothing to talk about. You're cheating because you're bored. There's nothing going on. That shit get boring when there's no growth mental. There's no mental stimulation. Yeah. You can write it real good. Just like a music video. Yeah. Your penis is this huge. Great. Fucking great. You gonna go cheat with that nerd nigga for $30 and make a stupid decision because he really intrigued her for a goddamn Happy Meal. What's your dumb ass? Press 1. You ain't got shit to talk about. You ain't got no substance to you. What do you bring to a relationship? Can't talk to you every day. Can't look at you without your makeup. Can't just look at you without your fucking weave in your goddamn head. What the fuck else? What the fuck? You better have something. You better know something about the goddamn. You better have a conspiracy theory or something. Press 1. Fact. This class is for smart people only. Don't even come here if you caught up in the world and think you can fool somebody. By your speech pattern gonna let me know what grade you in. I'm gonna send your ass right to Bungalow 54. Press 1.
Joe Opala, who has worked to preserve their legacy, says that's wrong.
The black Seminoles fought side by side, died, bled for those lands in Florida. They've been together. They've been good brothers and good neighbors for 3 centuries.
Press what? Now, press what? Who emancipated the Indian? Cab, Gills, and family. Press 1. Study him upright. Press 1. From his savagery. Press 1. Stood him up. Gave him some land, lot of land when he grew out of that teepee. See? He was a wanderer. Press 1. With little clothes on. They didn't match. We gave him 2 little braids and stuff like that one. This one here. And gave him a rifle. Here you go. It's a nice little star on his shirt so he can run his little town and emancipate himself from the power of someone governing over man. Press 1. That's what royalty. That royalty wants you to be a damn man. Press 1. It's in your blood to stand up and want to be emancipated. Y'all watching these little white people get emancipated. They be 12 and 16 years old. I want to get emancipated from my parents. You send back to my girl, but you can't emancipate yourself. That means grow up. Once that little white person prove they paying the bills and all this one and that one, that judge gonna make a rational damn decision. You just don't know. Because you caught up in the criminal world, the underworld. Press 1. Are these 2 people on the screen the same race? No. The one over there, the Negro, got a real name. Maybe Washington. Maybe Cornwall. Whatever. Maybe Evans. Maybe Burks. Press 1. Maybe this one or that one. But the one over there has to be given a name. Because where he from, his name is something totally else. Different. It's time to be truthful. It's somewhere else. I'm going to look after you. That's what they say, they rule over him. White men love it. When they want to separate, they love to make up little words like rule over. That's why all the women, I'm a woman, you ain't finna just rule over me. They doing it. It's the same tactic. He ain't ruling over you. You have to, there's rules and there's laws to this. There's family heritages that you don't understand. There's land, there's people, bodies up under this ground that you got to respect. This is what it is. When you go to China, you ain't gonna be selling no American nothing. I see, I can't. Master fighter, you know, you was an asshole. I would have, boy, if we was in a real auditorium, I swear I would have to just stand up and say that loud. You fucking asshole. Yeah, just say it loud. Just go ahead. Why not? They call you black or something. Go ahead. Call them elk nuts. Press 1. Why you think I call them computer heads? They all smart. They all into computers and stuff. Press 1. I go in just like they go in. Hey, black man. Hey, computer head. Press 1. Press 1. I don't give 2 shits. That's not a no damn algorithm. Press 1. Quit calling me names. Well, you black. Well, use a computer. Fuck it. You meta head ass nigga. Press 1. Playing video games with a fucking keyboard. Who does that? A blockhead. Press 1. I'm a bag on China Mac so bad. He better not ever. He beat me in a rap battle. He better not ever step in the bagging ring with me. Best one. Best one. Cam gonna eat him alive, nigga. I'm gonna ask him how much squid you ate in a lifetime. Hey, all that popped up right there. Press one. He gonna bring up chicken and all that other stuff. Listen, that's old. Press one. Kool-Aid. No. Press one. It's about getting the person uncomfortable and going in like battle rap. Press one. No, but on a serious note, back to history. No disrespect. Y'all know I be clowning up in class. This is a class we can talk a little reckless. We got white people with Johnson last names here. So trust me, we just fooling around. But back to seriousness. The black Negro is the runaway slave, is the Seminole. The Negro is the outlaw, it's the... You got me? They became... after you went to the Dawes Bowl. But let's go.
It makes no sense now to say they're not Indians.
Our ancestors were some of the most fiercest fighters during the war.
During
What?
the Indian Wars.
Yes, due to the fact that they knew
Sound like hellfighters?
if they were recaptured, they were going into slavery.
POW camps.
Shame.
Jail.
Shame.
Press one, aka reservation.
Back into slavery.
Bud Crockett and his sister Polly Gentry traced their Seminole roots back to their great-grandmother Dora Davis, who came to Oklahoma on the Trail of Tears.
Oh my
But
goodness.
family legend and physical resemblance aren't enough. Today, you
Oh my goodness. Oh, that ain't enough.
have to be able to prove your Indian heritage, which is hard for most black Seminoles because of something called the Dawes Rolls.
Oh my goodness.
Shame. Shame.
Because of what? Something like the dog.
A government census of sorts created in the late 1800s, which separated the tribe into the blood or red Seminoles and the freedmen or black Seminoles. Intermarriage made no difference, as Polly and Bud discovered with their ancestors.
If you had any black blood in you whatsoever, you were a freedman.
So it didn't matter how much Indian blood you had.
A what? A slave? Nah. The Negroes was free. You gotta understand something. I gotta unprogram you. I had a student yesterday hit me in the messages. I ain't gonna put you on blast. He say, "We come from monkeys." I said, "How long you been in my brain?" I'm thinking, "How long have you been in my class?" I say, "Be coming up with some. We descend from a primitive." Oh my goodness! Help me, please. Help me. Help you. Free men. Free.
Right.
Any black blood,
Right.
you went on a separate roll.
Right.
And on the black Seminole roll, it doesn't list that you have any Indian blood.
That is correct.
Did you feel equal to the blood Seminoles?
Sure, at one time, yes. Still do. Still do. But when money and the government entered into the picture, everything changed. Everything changed.
If they don't have any Indian blood, then, or prove it, then they're not looked at as Indians.
Putting aside
Oh my goodness.
that history of togetherness, the blood Seminoles are going by the book. That is, the government's book. They're relying on that 100-year-old census.
See, they got in by relation by blood. And then by blood, they X'd you out the paperwork. Oh, you was a freeman, but your kids would be in servitude. Oh, you was a freeman, you in natural. Yeah, they in by a drop of blood. You get me? All they gotta do is make themselves appear like they's relatives of yours. The one drop rule. Oh my goodness.
Shame.
That's how they got in.
Shame.
And then
Shame.
the federal government said if you're not by blood, that same one drop, then you're not a federalized Indian. Do you see the switch? Do you see the switch? I repeat, by blood, one drop.
Enough. Today, you have to be able to prove your
Insane.
Indian heritage, which is hard for most black Seminoles because of something called the Dawes Rolls, a government census of sorts created in the late 1800s, which separated the tribe into the blood or red Seminoles and the freedmen or black Seminoles. Intermarriage made no difference, as Polly and Bud discovered with their ancestors.
If you had any black blood in you whatsoever, you were a freedman.
So it didn't matter how much Indian blood you had. Just
Right.
Any black blood,
Right.
you went on a separate roll.
Right.
You went
And
on the freedman roll. You was a freedman. Oh my goodness. Because you want to be free. Right? So you go on the freedman roll and you're free, right? But check this out. They got us by blood. It's a trick of the word.
On the black Seminole roll, it doesn't list that you have any Indian blood.
That is correct.
And boom. And even though they are the real runaway slaves, that's what the Seminoles was. A stolen legacy, just like I said. Just like I said. Like I've been saying over this internet. Press 1. Ain't nothing but a Truman Show. And a robbery of those who really own land here. And titles. And they, you know, they excavated royal bloodline. They excavated bones and caskets and gold and dye. It's a lot on the line. It ain't just the land. They didn't just find rubies in the ground. The rubies were fixed to be rubies. That's what your kings and queens was laid down in. Ain't about no damn rubies and gold. You ain't finna find that in no mountain. There's a process to refine that. Press 1. And to make it into something. That's where the value comes in. Press 1. The value come in and shining them up. Is why you got the Queen of England over there with the amount of money of the world sitting in her damn crown. That's why. I'm just telling you what they stole. You damn right. They want to coup the nation. Look what they got. Look what you're a part of. I'm not saying you had to go on you because everybody ain't, you know, but families did own gold and were buried and scrolls were taken and bones were taken, which was written about in that song Patience by Nas and Damian Marley. Press 1 called Patience, because somebody got to explain this. You understand? So let's get back to it.
Did you feel equal to the Blood Seminoles?
Sure, at one time, yes.
Yeah, we felt equal. And gave them access. So the trick behind even being here is interracial blood mixing. Facts.
Still do. Still do. But when money and the government entered into the picture, everything changed. Everything changed.
If they don't have any Indian blood, then or prove it, then they're not looked at as Indians.
Putting aside that history of togetherness, the Blood Seminoles are going by the book, that is, the government's book. They're relying on that 100-year-old census which separated the black Seminoles from the rest of the tribe in determining just who gets the government money today.
To some extent.
For Seminole leaders like Chief Jerry Haney, this is what it now comes down to. Proof.
You know how they say we was the freedmen and we was the freedmen was the cross. Look at the Seminole roll. Not including the freedmen. You hear me, Dane Calloway? Not including the freedmen. Do y'all see the difference in what I do? Not including the number. Oh, they pulled it. Not including the freedmen. The freedman was on another roll. But the roll, they just stole the legacy of the Native Americans by calling themselves Native American and putting it on a separate roll where they were included in by a drop of blood. Our cousins who had the black Negro man are taking a picture. You know, one of the stipulations for the proof of the Seminoles, these people were just a photograph. If you had a photograph of you and your family Negro, you can go take the photograph with them, off them, and take it to the federal government and assume all of his land and rights. That's what they did.
Shame.
The truth is on the earth.
Shame.
What? Say something.
Shame.
Say something. Press one. That's what they did. They ripped it right from up under them and then played a carnival game of cowboys and Indians. Of cowboys and Indians. Now, this is facts. Facts.
Just who gets the government money today?
To some
Who get the government money? The 1%ers. You see why they call themselves the 1%er? Black by stolen legacy on paperwork. Black by stolen on paperwork though. Press one.
For Seminole leaders like Chief Jerry Haney, this is what it now comes down to. Proof. I've met
Chief who? Jerry Haney.
Like Chief Jerry Haney, this.
You know, like Mr. Haney from Devin Haney from boxing. Haney. He got a brother name. Ain't gonna tell them. You see? See how this is? You see how this is? This is exactly what I'm saying. The axis of evil won the war. The Nazis, the Japan, they won. They won, G. This is facts, G. This guy right here did not invent anything in the Americas that had anything to do with the development of no towns, no nothing in America. His family lent nothing. They banking all this whole story off of some people in the TEEPEES who are Asiatic, look like Genghis Khan.
This is what it now comes down to.
This is pure racism. This is how you block the Negroes right up out of situation. Him and China Mac look exactly alike. I'm not playing. That's for real.
Proof. I've met several black Seminole women, some of whom look Indian, and yet they can't participate in the benefits. They know they have Indian blood.
I'm well aware of that. The individuals that I know of that say that, you're absolutely right. They show a lot of Indian in them. But It's up to the individual to prove that they are Indians. And this is where the problem is. They can't prove it with the Dawes Commission role.
What happened?
Can't prove it with the Dawes Commission role. You can just prove it by bloodline. You can by land. You can prove it by you wasn't even on the land, but you can't prove it by the federally recognized statue, which was racist, which is a known racist institution to block these people out. Listen to me, out of their own heritage. How could you not in 2020, after it's widely accepted that this is where the problem lies? Because you would know that whoever Haney is from another country. His bloodline goes through it. They don't even speak English. That's how important your legacy is. He can tell you you're not who you are. And then you got COINTELPRO, press 1, her agents out here that's going to make you believe that you are him to give him leniency and that you won. But you ain't getting one benefit of nothing that ever get handed down ever. They didn't just get one. They get this shit all the time. And anytime you want to stand up and be, I'm black and I'm proud, we fucked up, it's time to get what we deserve. Here they come. Asian lives matter too. Black, they're going to put on TV, black man savage. Hate an Asian person. Oh, the Asian hate going to come out and get another stimulus package by the Republicans this time, not the Democrats. This time we're going to be Republican, so it don't make them look as worse as they did. It don't look like we together on this. Press 1. All of them are in collusion to bring you down. The proof is in the pudding. How could you not speak up? For fear that they're going to block your YouTube page? That's what you scared of? I don't want nobody speaking up for my people. If you scared that Zuckerberg going to see this, or whatever his name is, Leor, or any other body, and the only threat is you going to get a strike. The only threat is you going to get, oh man. And then you know what you going to say? But that's all right. You just got to not talk about that no more. Give me an egg. Give me an egg. Something you can't do nothing. I'm thinking you get the matter. This is the white man. He's scared to tell your history because he think you going to get mad. I'm telling him you ain't going to do shit. Press 1, that's what I'm saying. You ain't gonna do a motherfucking thing. You gonna act like you ain't hearing Kev Gill. You gonna because that way you ain't gotta accept responsibility. Neither one of you. None of you gotta take responsibility. That's sad, G. That's sad. Nobody wanna take responsibility. Nobody wanna speak out. Everybody wanna play until their corporate money run out, but you're always hollering what black people are going to do. What black people going to do. Well, all they have to do is be reclassified back into they are, and the game is over. The whole Monopoly game, which is played off the backs of you by these so-called Indians and these so-called Americans, and you just stand up and reclaim your status and stop buying all they shit. Damn. You can't do nothing. You're going to have to get off of social media and get away from Little Boosie. They got too much jury. Life is looking great for them. Life is looking great for them. If you was them, you wouldn't have to worry about this neither. Press 1. You just going to have to do it. And I've been doing it. You're going to have to do it too, and regain some anger back, some testosterone. I don't want to see no damn jury. My father got many mansions. Press 1. Ain't worry about no damn jury. And what the next nigga is doing I be fantasizing about his shit when I can be getting to work myself. Press 1. Look at this. This is facts.
To your front porch. You have no steps.
No steps. No steps there, no steps here. And I need a whole house here.
Holly Gentry has lived her entire life on land her grandmother received 100 years ago as a full member of the tribe.
100 years ago. 100 years ago, and this is old. Press 1. 100 years ago, and you stuck on some 1492 shit. Press 1. I already proved that to be wrong. They just took the whole Virginia company away from the Royals. Press 1. So here we go. 100 years. Couple grandmas, fool. The question is, what happened?
All Seminoles, red and black, were given land in Oklahoma. Polly says she could use some of the $56 million judgment fund to repair her house.
My husband decided he's going to put some bricks around it, and he got, far as you see them bricks is now, and he had a heart attack.
And it's been like this?
And it's been like this, because you couldn't get nobody to fix it.
Do you have the money to fix it?
No. No, Lord, no.
So did you apply for a benefit?
Yeah, but they wouldn't give it to me.
The Seminoles have $56 million coming from the government, and how much of it did you want?
I want enough that I can get me a house built where I can live comfortable, because it ain't no comfortable here.
This whole business of degree of Indian blood is just a concoction. It's just an excuse now that's been dreamed up of late in order to exclude the blacks from membership in the tribe. I can tell you this, 100 years ago or 150 years ago, Seminole Indians would not have been talking about whether or not this black person has Indian blood. It simply wouldn't have mattered.
Because they was the blood, okay? You understand what I'm saying? You are the Native American bloodline. You are that which was brought down by this whole empire. And it didn't happen in 1492. Y'all tripping. And we've been sleeping on history. See? You see why I say fuck a logo, Coop? And fuck that. Fuck a logo. After I saved it, of course. After I hit copy save. Fuck this logo. Get to work. We can't do nothing unless we fucking mad. Press 1. To hell with that logo. Save that. Press 1. I'm gonna need that in the fraud department. Oh shit, my rib hurt. But I do shit. My ribs hurt because this is sad that more people aren't interested in who they are. You have a name. Your name wasn't given to you. You gave the name.
They were Seminoles.
You know what the motion is? We'll go ahead and vote on it.
For more than 100 of those years, black Seminoles held 4 of the 28 seats on the tribal council. But that ended at a meeting like this one in the summer of 2000, when the red Seminoles voted the blacks out. Sylvia Davis, who was one of the 4 black council members at the time, says it was humiliating.
It's been hard for me to sit there and listen to the way they talk to the freedmen. It's been very hard for me.
What do they say?
The racist names that they be using toward them, calling them animals' names, cows, stomping feet, roaring at them, telling them to get out.
They don't want you.
That's right. They'll tell you to go back to Africa.
Why do you think the freedmen...
Now, told you, oh my goodness. They said what?
Shame.
They
Shame.
tell you to go back to where they come from. Listen to me. They tell you, they X you out, do it make sense to you? With 1% drop of blood. Right? Because you think you the 1%. No, you're not the 1%. You're the 99%. You're the full blood. They the one. They the cousin. Other cousin. Who playing the cousin? Playing you. It was their plan all along with the white man. And that's coming from a white man. Thank you, Todd. Sometimes I gotta get Todd a hand, because that's my dog. Yeah, go back to Africa. That alone says that these people are in association with the go back to Africa theory, to kick you out of your own land. You built it up, these towns. That's insane. That's insane. They the real African exhibit. Of course. This is why I put up the videos yesterday. Here they are right here. Now, what did I say you was doing in these years? American Indian tribe, Paul Monkey tribe. These are all foreign people. And when was this? Huh? World Fair Picture Fest. Press 1. World Fair photo. We got the proof now. You got to stand up and fight for ourselves. Because what was you doing? What did they take from you? Everything. Press 1. Everything. So when they dress like this in 1880, but you doing all this 17, 18, 19. What you think you were doing in 1600? What you think you were doing then? Inventing things as you always do, like electricity, phones, and all type of shit that you would use in your kitchen. This is where you raise civilizations from. Do you know what? Never no doorknob until Osborne, Dorsey. Press 1. They ain't even had no damn doorknob. Listen to me. Did you know the egg beater, the electric light bulb? Press 1. The electric light bulb. The electric one, not the ladder that you put on a horse and you got to ride out with your hands up. What about the elevator? You ever rode on an elevator? Huh? What about a fire escape? A ladder? Huh? What about a fire extinguisher? What about a folding bed? How about a folding chair? What about these things? Press 1. And we can keep going. But we wasn't looking like this. We was like this. Okay? Okay, press 1. So stop it with the savagery. The Indian, the Native American look like this. The Native American got names like this. The natives of America who built America invented things and patented things that nobody else around the world has. Stop it. Damn, I'm good. Damn it. Suck it, suck it, suck it. Press 1. D-Generation X. Press 1. Kicking their ass.
The black Seminoles belong as part of this tribe.
We had people that die along the trail just like any other people in the nation.
But I guess they're saying, yes, thank you. You fought alongside us in Florida. That was 200 years ago. It's time for us to separate.
I would just let them know that we have all rights within the Seminole Nation.
But Chief Haney says many of the black Seminoles and even some of the blood Seminoles weren't interested in being part of the tribe until it included benefits, namely a piece of that $56 million government payout.
The tribe.
He's a Democrat. Jim Kong-un. They wouldn't even want nothing that had nothing to do with you. Wouldn't want nothing if I had nothing to do with no benefit. One percenter. You see how the world is upside down? You thought one percenter was good. This is how they robbed you. They got in either by marriage of a cousin. Once you change her last name into yours, that's an adopted into your family. That's heirs. That's heirs. Those are heirs also. Press 1. That's why that's why they seen King George as what? An incest family? Because they didn't date outside their nation. They would say that was an incest family. Now all the King George people walk around retarded. Bro, why? They're walking around with different handicaps, limping around. Get the fuck out of here. That's just their little corrupted mindset. They only within the family, within the nation. Why? To protect the riches that the world stole. Yeah. That's how deep that is. They try to get you. They get in through you. You see Karimio? He trying to make you him to get him in, but he gonna X you out. Just like they did. These his uncles. Press 1. And he not even that. He's a conquistador. Pretending to be the man. That's pretending to be the man. Pretending to be you. Press 1. It's time to be smart. It's time to be smart.
Wanted to have an Indian tribe that was all Indian tribe.
There are too many freedmen.
I think there's a lot of freedmen out there now that are eligible to join, but have not joined because there are no benefits.
But you think if there were benefits for them, suddenly freedmen would be coming from
Yes.
all across the country?
Yes.
Let me tell you what it looks like from the outside, though. It looks like the freedmen fought wars, died with you, moved
No.
on the Trail of Tears from Florida to...
You. They are the ones. The whole Native American illusion story is of the Negro. Let me make this clear. The whole Native American, not with the Indian that was on the back of right about on the trail. No. That whole story is your story. Facts. They just don't want to say it. That has nothing to do with nobody. What happened to you is a worldwide, is a fucking extermination program. Press 1. What happened to you is worse than you can ever imagine. Because you ain't even thought about it. That's how condensed and drugged up and under democratic Nazi propaganda mind control you under. You ain't even realize how you were destroyed. You just got to the point that you think that you're them. And they are pretending to be you because they from way across the ocean. That's how distorted your brain is. That's the only problem we be having. When you think you teaching me something. Yeah, a lot of people think they teaching me something. They ain't teaching me shit. He said, hey, you just say you learned from Kareemio? What the hell did I just jumped a fucking Vince Carter dunk over fucking Kareemio? You see this information? What the fuck is you learn what? Get him. You pushing the same info that this man's grandchildren will be pushing today to uproot, subvert, and get them across the ocean. Let me say that again. To ideologically subvert and get them to believe they're across the ocean. That's why he created that thumbnail that blacks were the Asiatic man. Press 1. This one right here. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Go back to Africa. Oh my God. I'm just too good. Let me get back to this. And we all know where they come from.
Oklahoma with you. And now suddenly there's a big pot of money. Let's exclude them.
That may be true to some extent, but I don't think that's all of the reasons for what has happened.
He also says the red and black Seminoles have just grown apart over the years and have little in common today. But that's not how Sylvia Davis sees it. She's hired Will and John Veely, 2 young attorneys who specialize in Indian law. They're suing the government on behalf of the black Seminoles.
The entire tribe received a county in exchange for a state. When that was individually allotted, all Seminoles, including the black Seminoles, received their individual allotments.
Ah! Say, white man. Tell us again, white man.
Seminoles.
Here it
The
is.
entire tribe received a county in exchange for a state.
Say it. Say it. Say it. They received a county in exchange for the estate. Oh my God. All you got to do is listen. No, you must not know what an estate is. Wow.
when that was individually allotted, all Seminoles, including the black Seminoles, received their individual allotments. When the United States awarded $56 million, shouldn't the same people that received the land before also receive the money? The tribe's the same.
The Bureau of Indian Affairs chose not to speak on camera, citing the pending lawsuit. However, in a letter to us, they say that these kinds of issues are up to the tribe. Eligibility for the judgment fund, the letter says, may depend upon whether a current member is descended from a member of the tribe as the tribe existed in 1823. However, the letter says, deciding who's in and who's out is solely within the purview of the tribe. But the black Seminoles say they won't go quietly.
But it's your money. It's the allodial titles. There we go. Allodial titles. 424-209-9506. Wow. Right here.
They continue trying to cast votes and participate in tribal meetings without success. Bud Crockett says he won't be denied his heritage, but he won't beg for it either.
It's not all about the money. It's about setting the history record straight about our ancestry.
Oh my goodness. Press 1. That's what it's about. It's about setting the record straight about our ancestry, G. That's how deep that is. And a lot of people ain't connected to that type. I'm connected to this information. Boom. You know. And yeah, I'm tapped in like no play. Like this is the real deal, you know. And we as a people got to be up on information. Not from a religious standpoint, but from a nation, from your identity, you know. It's just what it is, man. This shit crazy, man. Yo, Coffee and Kush TV, what up? Oh, hold up, say it. Here I come right now. Hold up, my guy. Let me turn this Bluetooth on. All right, I think you live. Say it. You on the air? What up, champ?
What's up, bro?
Go ahead.
I got a word for you. I'm gonna bring it back to my old class. It's called an easement. An easement is a non-possessory right to use or enter onto real property of another without possessing it.
I can't hear you. Your phone sound muffled.
Hold on, let me take it off my headphones. All right, can you hear me now?
Yes.
It's called an easement. An easement is a non-possessory right to use or enter or enter onto real property of another without possessing it. Hello?
I'm right here. What's up?
Yeah, so they got the allodial titles through an easement.
They got the. There you go. I'm waiting for you to explain it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
they got the allodial titles through an easement.
Through an easement.
Yes.
All right.
So they went to the county with the $5 in the head and got the allodial titles through an easement. So they got a non-possessory right to use or enter onto the real property of another without possessing it. So they gave up the state for just on like land through the county. So as a county.
Oh, let me make sure they can hear you. I don't know if they can hear you. Let me see. So, oh, okay. Let me see. All right. So through now, say it again, just in case somebody didn't hear.
Easement.
An easement. Go ahead.
Yeah, they got allodial titles. So that's the allodial titles go without any type of landlord, anything, and it's not based off of a time period like the Bible says. So you have to renew after Jubilees.
So they got allodial titles through. So they really don't own the land. Easement.
Yeah.
And what does an easement mean?
An An easement is a non-possessory right to use and or enter onto the real property of another without possessing it.
So it's kind of like a squatters.
Exactly. So remember when they came over here, they had to work for the king until their time, until they paid back the trip fare. So the runaways would run away before they actually got to
pay their ransom.
Finish off their, yes, before they paid their ransom. And they would find a piece of land and just squat on it.
Behind rocks and stuff.
Yes, sir.
Heading off. Okay, so they went to the federal government with what?
$5 in the Indian head or a photo.
Or a photo.
Yes, sir. And all they needed to get put onto the Dawes roll.
That's all they needed to get put onto the Dawes roll and become Indian in the federal government.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So with them being on the Dawes roll, they created a way for them to be on paper and not include the freemen.
Who were the landowners? Or quite possibly the planters or whatever. I don't know.
Say it again.
The Dawes roll started in what? In late 1800s.
I can't hear you. It's muffled.
The Dawes roll started after the 1800s, correct? After the...
It went up through. It went from 1893 through 1907. So this leads up right before, before the war. Or what's claimed to be the war. After the floods.
After what flood? When late 18...
After the West Coast floods.
Oh, okay.
Because the East Coast wasn't until like the 1920s.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So
I just find it funny how. Say again?
No, go ahead. You good.
I just find it funny that they're trying to make these people produce paperwork when they know it's no paperwork.
Right.
That was the whole reason for them even making the paperwork, for them to actually have a right to something, because they couldn't have done it any other way without the paper.
Right. So they pretty much ran from their obligation to the federal government and betrayed their landlords.
Yes. They went to.
That's why they fought for the redcoats. That's why they fought for the redcoats. The black. They didn't.
Right.
That's why they ended up fighting for the redcoats. Go ahead.
Because they had something to gain from it.
That's right.
That's the only way they could gain. They would be in a minor estate if they didn't fight. They would have always remained in a minor estate. But they had to answer to the real landlord. They had to pay them rent. That was the only way around it for them.
So they didn't fulfill their contract, and through the federal government pulled an illegal move, a fraudulent move, and kind of stole your identity. Yeah, that's crazy.
Because that comes with emancipation, fighting and bearing arms for the army. So they had to bear arms. That was the only way to get emancipated. They had to fight for it.
That's crazy, man.
There was no way around it.
So 1% X'd out the 99%.
We said 1%. What?
The 1% drop of blood, folk, X'd out the pure bloods.
Yes. That was the only way to get to I don't want to say this. That was the only way to add on to the original contract they had. They had to have the names, or to alter the original contract, they had to have the names. Without the names, they couldn't do anything.
That's insane. That the federal government at the time actually, and they won't correct it. They haven't corrected it. They know that these people are the real Native American whose heritage goes back thousands of years. And for them to steal it, and well, that's what I was saying. Said we live in a axis of evil society where the German propaganda, the Japanese propaganda, all this is like all over the American Negro. Like there is no.
It was a way for them to turn a blind eye.
Yeah.
All the chaos. Instead of them paying attention to what's really going on, let's go to the fair today.
And then we actually talking about how the American Red Cross is what?
Those are the St. John, the Army of St. John, which would be John Smith. The John Smiths. This is their army. And they're the salvagers or the doctors that came through to help and lend a helping hand, but really they were inoculating the people.
But why would they be given a helping hand? A helping hand.
Because they started
But a helping hand for what?
Well, they made it seem like they were giving a helping hand.
You mean like humanitarian work?
Yes. That's the best position to be in to get what you want. Act like you're helping. It's fighting without fighting. So they helped a certain set of people with circumstances that were placed upon them by the other side of the army, the actual fighters.
What you mean? What you mean by that? What you mean by that?
I believe the Red Cross comes out of the same people that started the fires or the fighters in the war. These were just a different type of soldier because they had to be military trained. They had to be trained to do all this. They were combat men, but they were trained in a different way.
You talking about the Red Cross?
Yes.
Well, of course they was trained some type of way because they ran concentration camps.
Yes.
So the Red Cross, you can type in the Red Cross and the Holocaust, and they played a blind eye, allegedly, to what was going on.
Right, because what was the lady, Claire Barton?
Yeah.
I think that's what her name was.
Yes.
They're supposed to be over the Red Cross, but her father was a captain in the Army. So he did the fighting, and he would send you to his daughter after I bust you up.
For medical treatment?
Yes.
Shots and things like this?
Yes. Once they got you into that concentration camp, they could, what's the word? They can say you have whatever illness they want. Especially we dealing with all these gases and stuff like that. They needed the treatment.
Do you know? Could you tell the people how many concentration camps was in America?
From what I read, it was 1,402 concentration camps.
And when was this?
But I saw you put. You said what?
And what years was this? Is this World War One? Is this World War Two?
Yes, World War One. No, I think it was two. That was by two. It was 1,402.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And
I was thinking that 6,000 was a lot, but when I started doing math,
6,000.
The concentration camps, 6 million. I'm sorry.
Okay.
When I started doing math, so if you have 1,402 concentration camps and they held 18,000 people apiece, then that's close to maybe a third of the people, a little over a third, that would die off. Spread amongst all those concentration camps, that's not a hard number to get to.
Well, guess what? I mean, that's what I was saying yesterday. Your boy Kev found. Now watch this picture I'm gonna put up. It's a Nazi concentration camp. Red Cross, right? Now, Nazi concentration camps is the Red Cross. I just want people to know that. The Red Cross is the concentration camp.
Yes.
I'm not trying to convince you. I'm telling you that's what it is. The Krevny Krust, the Red Cross. That's a Nazi concentration camp. Okay, y'all?
The Red Cross was even on the battlefield because it was so far to get back to the regular hospitals. A lot of people would die on the journey back, so they needed these concentration camps for soldiers that were wounded close by.
Okay, but people don't know that the Red Cross is German and it ran the concentration camps.
Yes.
Now, how many concentration camps was in America in World War One and Two? World War Two. How many you say?
1,402.
So these guys wasn't Germany the people who was into eugenics?
Yes.
That's crazy. To not think. It's crazy. It's crazy not to think. So the FEMA camps, the concentration camps, is the FEMA camp, is the Red Cross camp. And they ran the concentration camp.
Yes, sir.
Water World.
They didn't call it FEMA back then, but it was.
Now hold up. Didn't I show the classroom German soldiers and American soldiers in America at this time? That's what I took. That's what I got flagged for. Remember the the American Nazis and the German, they was getting, and they was over here. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Remember that picture you had?
What?
Do you remember the picture you had with the? Do you remember the picture that you showed us with the nurse on the front of the tank? That was the Red Cross.
Yeah, yeah.
And she was sitting on the German tank.
Yeah, in America.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was in San Francisco.
So what? Yes, it was. You remember that. So why would a German tank be in San Francisco? And what happened to all the black people? Remember we had this question? Remember we were saying world fairs, concentration camps? Why everybody look weird? Where are all the black people?
That's where they were, in the concentration camp.
Who knows?
Or all fighting at war.
But check this out. My good... I'm trying to get to be my co-host. Amanda in the chat room, she's so good at what she does, right? Trying to get her on the show. But I'm trying to use all the convincing power I have and shit to give her a voice on the show. But She brings a lot of different truths to. What was we just talking about? I lost my thought.
We were talking about. You said where were all the black people?
Yeah. I forgot where I was going with her. She mentioned something, but yeah, where are the black people? Where are they? Oh, we mentioned. We were talking about floods. We were talking about the floods, right? Wasn't we talking about floods yesterday in Discord?
Flood.
All right.
Yes.
Now, you know they called us refugees after those great floods.
Yes, sir.
They called us refugees. I got the whole report already. I got it. I'm going to drop it in the Discord so we can always have that as a reference point. But
and remember I called in that day and it said refugees were people that were misplaced through time immemorial.
But check this out. She actually pinpointed it. I got to give her this. She said, so after they label you a refugee, what do you seek?
Asylum.
That's right. And that's how your ass ended up in the probably what I would call the concentration camp or the asylum, or where these nurses be doing all of this shit. See, I'm thinking after that, I think you're seeking asylum after the flood. And they put you and they house you in the concentration camp and wage war on you at the same time due to natural disaster that would allow the American or the Red Cross per se to come in as a like National Guard help type of thing. Who knows?
It sounds more like a biological war than a physical war.
Well, we was talking about the German Jews. They specialized in gas. The Hellfighters went through that. You know what I'm saying? The Hellfighters, went through gas attacks, and they were the ones who were going through that. And I'm thinking bigger now. You know. I'm thinking real bigger. I think this is deep. I think this is deep shit. And I don't mean deep we don't enter. I mean deep like it takes a real mindset to think about this type of thing. You know? Yeah. Because of German POW camps, Red Cross concentration camp. And I just watched the Kingsman yesterday. You know that, right?
Yeah.
And what's the first place they at? They at a American Red Cross concentration camp. And the first thing he said, these concentration camps is essential for war. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I looked in the back, it's some damn TEEPEES. I said, oh, Lord have mercy. I gotta, this is.
They said they couldn't do it without the concentration camp.
They couldn't do it without the concentration camp.
And all the people that was sick.
And all the people that was sick, G.
It was all laid on the ground and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. You had the black man in the front driving the white lady, the little Moor not paying no mind to nothing but protecting that Frenchman. First one.
Right, because the main character, he said that he was a soldier, but he was traumatized by having to kill so many people to take over the land that they didn't own. So he joined the Red Cross to be on the other side, but he was really in the background manipulating for the federal government.
He was for the Kingsman. He was like the Merlin.
Yeah.
He codenamed Merlin at the end. Again, this movie making reference to them holding the estate for you. The federal government feels like he your daddy, like he got to hold what's owed to you for you, and because we don't understand law and contract law, and these American Indians are only here by way of contract, and all of them are Native American by way of $5 Indian. That's why Donald Trump said what he said. That don't look like no Native American to me. I said, I'm voting for him. I don't care about nothing else. What y'all talking about? When he said That don't look like Native American to me. What he said was, y'all, I think it's time to give these people. We don't got too
They try to call him a racist.
Well, you ain't got no choice. That's how you got to call him a racist then, because he's the end all to be all to the lie. Oh, hell no, black people. He trying to say something about your mama. They'll say anything. They don't give a fuck. They hired Boosie.
He wasn't even talking about us.
He said that white lady didn't look like no Indian. Elizabeth Warren and all these people playing a role off of India. Got to shut him down. But it ain't even about him. It was. I told you that tribulation, that Pope know what time it is. So when the Pope write a letter to the Americans and say, hey, and they don't act up, you get a Donald Trump and say, hey.
But they doing the same thing again. They squatting again.
Yeah, they trying to prolong they squat, because you about to be blessed heavily when you turn away from your wicked ways and repent of your sin, Israel. We almost there. I can feel it.
Yes, sir. The Bible says if you turn away from your wicked ways, you'll be saved.
You say what?
The Bible says if you turn away from your wicked ways, you'll be saved.
Yeah, and repent.
Not about
that's right. Forget all that. It ain't even about, forget all this other stuff. Because you blessed. You'll be blessed just to be a part of something that's been unveiling itself in time. You just a piece of it. You know?
Yeah.
You know?
This is definitely the greatest time to be alive. Especially when you can see, like you say, the Truman Show.
Yes.
When you can see that you in the Truman Show, you can't. I can't watch TV.
That's why
I can't watch TV.
You don't think no black people died in no gas camp, no POW camp? Huh? Please. I see this place so clear. I see this place, but me and you said we're going to talk about it one night, freestyle, all right? So let me get to a couple more callers. Thank you, champ.
All right, G.
My man.
Call from
Coffee and Kush TV. You on the air. What up?
Hey, Kev, this is Dwayne calling from Washington.
Washington in the building. What's up, Dwayne?
Hey, man, I was just thinking about that when you said refugees.
Go ahead.
Because we don't have to look that far back, man, if you stop and think about Hurricane Katrina.
Come on now.
I mean, when they was calling them refugees, and then shortly after that, they just start shooting them all over the country. Just
Say it again.
Getting them off the land.
So you remember this, right?
Yeah.
So that's the same play as before. You can remember that now, right? All right, then.
Yeah, because think about it when they were showing all the newscasts, and you saw all these people underwater. So just imagine them breaking levees or breaking dams while everybody sleeps. You drown out a whole town.
Wow, you're right. You're right. Especially while they sleep.
While you sleep, man, I ain't even got to pull a gun on you.
Yeah, they ain't even got to fight you. And then we got American.
I ain't even got to pull a gun.
We got camps, help.
I mean, they sent in the military. And if it wasn't for the one general, they was gonna start shooting them down. Who was that brother that they sent up there?
Napoleon?
No, I'm talking about doing here Hurricane Katrina. Because I'm looking at all of this. It's the same playbook that they use.
Oh yeah.
Because remember, the soldiers had they rifles on all the people up in
he had to tell them to stand down. Put the rifle down.
Yes. Yeah, he had to tell them stand down, man. These are citizens, man. What are y'all doing?
You absolutely right. You right.
Man,
and that was on live on the air. And it's
on the air.
Because you know we went through it with Hurricane Katrina. So with the Great Flood of 1827 that flooded out the whole South in which they needed to overthrow, what you think?
So just imagine them just buck wild, just let loose off the leash, just have at it.
Now everybody talking about these great floods and what happened to the people. And well, if it was great floods, the people will be in camps, internment
Either camps
military
or
camps.
underwater.
Well, underwater, because hundreds of thousands of people was washed away, is what I heard.
Man.
You know, and that wasn't the first flood. The real big one hit California, Oregon, Washington. It came down from the north. So,
Because right now, Oregon, see, I live right on the border, Washington and Oregon. See, and they had a flood, like in the 60s, 50s. Davenport, they flooded them out because they were working down at the railroad.
I know, and watched it all out. I played the show. I played a video clip.
Yeah.
Of this shit. Yeah, G. I can't believe it.
Yeah, man, they've been doing this stuff, man. God, it's like, come on, man. I mean, it kind of hurts, but then, I mean,
you gotta rejoice. You gotta rejoice, man. It's a beautiful time for us not to be thinking of rap and all this other movie shit, whatever's going on, to be really focusing our attention right here in the history of what can be possibly be, you know, one of the greatest finds in history. You know, ours.
Yeah.
You know.
Because the thing that really gets me, man, even growing up, it was like, I always wondered, man, why is, I mean, everybody that I came in contact with growing up, they had a problem with me. It's like every other race, why y'all got a problem with me? I mean, you know what I'm saying? My people. You know, I ain't did nothing. You know, you can go somewhere, you ain't did nothing to nobody, but then and now I see why they had a problem. They had to keep you down.
Sir, what if the American Red Cross was running concentration camps on black people? They ran the concentration camps in America. They had concentration camps in so-called Germany. They say was far-fetched. We looking for what happened to all of our people.
Yeah.
We looking for.
And then they in charge.
Go ahead.
They're in charge of the blood. The Red Cross in charge of the blood.
Right.
Like he said, man, they the perfect. You know, the perfect one to be, you know, sticking you with the old jabby jab.
But check this out. Didn't they put forth these eugenics around the same time? Wasn't they putting forth and giving us
Walter Plecker?
Wasn't Spanish flu and all these other diseases of syphilis wiping us out as well? Wasn't wars? Our first World War was fought overseas. All of our men died in the water after taking a shot. Because they went to the military and got seen by them.
Yeah, this is I appreciate you, man, for all that you do.
Yes, sir.
And I'm, you know, sit back down.
Nah, man. Thank you for the call, champion.
Yeah, and I just keep on studying, bro.
Blessings to that, man.
All right,
brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it shouldn't be hard to think. POW camps, Red Cross, floods. Where's the black people? That's like a joke. It's got to be a joke. It's got to be a joke. You know, where's the black people? Where are all the African Americans at? The so-called native people. Oh, there they are in Indian gear over there. Looking like Mongols. The Genghis Khan in now. Oh. They went from that creative dean to living in teepees. Amazing. It's amazing. And you got Afro COINTELPRO idiots talking about they was an Indian and they from the Paw Monkey tribe.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
And I said you got Black COINTELPRO saying they on the back of a flying Ninja Turtle flying through the universe. They call themselves the Niji people.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
You heard me. Now Dan Calloway want to talk about all of this great stuff, right? Well, keep it going. Let's talk about the American Red Cross, the concentration camps in America, the Nazi-American connection, the betrayal of the men of bronze.
Unknown caller.
As you named the Hell Fighters. Press 1. It's time to tell the truth. It's time to get into it. I'm here to tell you the truth, family. For His glory. What's going on, sister? What's on your mind?
Hey, I was calling in on my lunch break to read some scripture that you asked me to call in about.
Oh, bingo. Now, we talking about, I want to give people the proper perspective before you got to get back to what you're doing. I want you to know that we had to go through this process. I want the people to know we had to go through this process. It's just a part of our fall and our redemption. It's a yes, sir. You know what I'm saying, right?
Absolutely.
So
yes, sir. It's written.
But what you've done, because we're talking about floods and all this other stuff, is we found this. No, Brittany found it. Brittany found it, and you're just going to elaborate on. We know Brittany a little shy. I don't know. Brittany ain't gonna call in with the script.
Right? Yeah. I was going to say no. I was going to say no. Brittany found it.
She'll do it for you. She ain't dripping. So
yes, I'll just be the mouthpiece. That's all.
Right.
Yes.
So
yes, sir.
You found some great scripture. Go ahead. You guys found some great scripture. Go ahead.
Yes. So how far did you want me to read? Because she had put in the chat about chapter 3, which was what I read, and was just wow. I mean, so powerful.
Okay,
I feel like it's
read that for start.
Okay, all right.
We may go to 4.
All right. Okay, all right, sounds good, no problem. It says, I am the man who has seen affliction under the rod of God's wrath. He has driven me away and forced me to walk in darkness instead of light. Yes, he repeatedly turns his head against me all day long. He has worn away my flesh and skin. He has broken my bones. He has laid siege against me, encircling me with bitterness and hardship. He has made me dwell in darkness like those who have been dead for ages. He has walled me in so I cannot get out. He has weighed me down with chains. Even when I cry out and plead for help, he blocks out my prayer. He has walled in my ways with blocks of stone. He has made my paths crooked. He is a bear waiting in ambush, a lion in hiding. He has forced me off of my way and tore me to pieces. He has left me desolate. He strung his bow and set me as a target for his arrow. He pierced my kidneys with shafts from his quiver. I am a laughingstock to all of my people, mocked by their songs all day long. He filled me with bitterness and sated me with wormwood. He ground my teeth with gravel and made me cower in the dust. I have been deprived of peace. I have forgotten what prosperity is. Then I thought, my future is lost, as well as my hope from the Lord. Remember my affliction and my homelessness, the wormwood and the poison. I continually remember them and have become depressed. Yet I call this to mind, and therefore I have hope. Because of the Lord's faithful love, we do not perish, for his mercies, thank you, Lord, never end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I say, the Lord is my portion, therefore I will put my hope in him. The Lord is good to those who wait for him, to the person who seeks him. It is good to wait quietly for the salvation from the Lord. It is good for a man to bear the yoke while he is still young. Let him sit alone and be silent, for God has disciplined him. Let him put his mouth in the dust. Perhaps there is still hope. Let him offer his cheek to the one who would strike him. let him be filled with disgrace. For the Lord will not reject us forever. Even if he causes suffering, he will show compassion, according to the abundance of his faithful love. For he does not enjoy bringing affliction or suffering on mankind, crushing all the prisoners of the land beneath one's feet, denying justice to a man in the presence of the Most High, or subverting a person in his lawsuit. The Lord does not approve of these things. Who is there who speaks and it happens, unless the Lord has ordained it? Do not both adversity and good come from the mouth of the Most High? Why should any living person complain, any man, because of the punishment for his sins? Let's examine and probe our ways and turn back to God. Let's lift up our hearts and our hands to God in heaven. We have sinned. We have rebelled. You have not forgiven. You have covered yourself in anger and pursued us. You have killed without compassion. You have covered yourself with the cloud so that no prayer can get through. You have made us disgusting among the people. All of our enemies open their mouths against us. We have experienced panic, pitfall, devastation, and destruction. My eyes flow with streams of tears because of the destruction of my dear people. My eyes overflow unceasingly without end until the Lord looks down from heaven and sees. My eyes bring me grief because of the fate of all the women in my city. For no reason, my enemies hunted me like a bird. They smothered my life in a pit and threw stones on me. Water flooded over my head, and I thought, I am going to die. I called on your name, Lord, from the depths of the pit. You heard my plea, and you did not ignore my cry for relief. You came near when I called you and said, do not be afraid. You championed my cause, Lord. You redeemed my life. Lord, you saw the wrong done to me. Judge my case. You saw all of their vengefulness, all of their plots against me. Lord, you heard their insults and all of their plots against me. The slander and the murmuring of my opponents attack me all the day long. When they sit, when they rise, look, I am mocked by their songs. You will pay them back what they deserve, Lord, according to the work of their hands. You will give them a heart filled with anguish. May your curse be upon them. You will pursue them in anger and destroy them under your heavens. And that is Lamentations chapter 3, verses 1 through 66.
Could you do me a favor?
Yes, sir.
Could you go on to 4?
Yes, absolutely.
I just for some reason I like that. I like that. Go on.
Okay.
I'm sure there's more of that.
Okay.
Somebody out there need to hear that. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So I'll read until you tell me to stop. Okay. How the gold has become tarnished, the fine gold become dull. The stones of the temple lie scattered at the head of every street. Zion's precious children once worth their weight in gold. How they are regarded as clay jars, the work of a potter's hands.
What?
Even jackals offer.
Wait. What you just say? Say it again. Even what? Go back.
God. I'll go back. Okay. Whew. It says, Zion's precious children, once worth their weight in pure gold, how they are regarded as clay jars, the work of a potter's hands. Wow. Okay. Even jackals offer their breasts to nurse their young, but my dear people have become cruel like ostriches in the wilderness. The nursling baby's tongue clings to the roof of his mouth from thirst. Infants beg for food, but no one gives them any. Those who used to eat delicacies are destitute in the streets. Those who were reared in purple garments huddle in trash heaps. The punishment of my dear people is greater than that of Sodom, which was overthrown in an instant without a hand laid on it. Her dignitaries were brighter than snow, whiter than milk. Their bodies were more ruddy than coral. Their appearance as lapis lazuli, I don't know what that word is. Now they appear darker than soot. They are not recognized in the streets. Their skin has shriveled up on their bones. It has become dry like wood. Those slain by the sword are better off than those slain by hunger, who waste away, pierced with pain because of the fields lacking produce. The hands of compassionate women have cooked Lord have mercy. The hands of compassionate women have cooked their own children. They have become their food during the destruction of my dear people. The Lord has exhausted his wrath, poured out his burning anger. He has ignited a fire in Zion, and it has consumed her foundations. The kings of the earth and all the world's inhabitants do not believe that an enemy or adversary could ever enter Jerusalem's gates. Yet it happened because...
Wait a minute. They said the kings of the world could never imagine that the gates would even be open. But go ahead.
Yep. Yet it happened because of their sins of her prophets and the iniquities of her priests, who shed the blood of the righteous within her. Blind, they stumbled in the streets, defiled by this blood, so that no one dared to touch their garments. Stay away, unclean, people shouted at them. Away, away, don't touch us. So they wandered aimlessly. It was said among the nations, they can stay here no longer. The Lord himself has scattered them. He no longer watches over them.
Now, wait a minute. Now, this their own land. You can't stay here no longer.
Right.
Now, ain't that what the little Indian just told them black people?
Yes, that's what he just said.
Ain't that what came out of his mouth, though? All right, then. I just want to prove that the Bible, the Word of God is real.
Yes.
It's real.
It's real. It is real. Everything that you have said, I can find in Scripture.
Now, he just said that. We just heard him say it.
Yes, sir.
And that's one man in the consensus of many nations through this so-called chief say no.
Yep.
Well, go ahead.
It says the Lord himself has scattered them, and he no longer watches over them. The priests are no longer respected. The elders find no favor. All the while our eyes were failing as we looked in vain for help. We watched from our towers for a nation that would not save us. Our steps were closely followed so that we could not walk in our streets. Our end approached. Our time ran out. Our end has come. Those who chased us were swifter than eagles in the sky. They relentlessly pursued us over the mountains and ambushed us in the wilderness. The Lord's anointed, the breath of our life, was captured in their traps. We had said about him, we will live under his protection among the nations. So rejoice and be glad, daughter Edom. You're a resident of the land of Uz, yet the cup will pass to you as well. You will get drunk and expose yourself.
So this is Edom.
Yes. Right,
okay.
Yes.
Fulfilling the wrath and doing the judgment of the Lord.
Yes.
It ain't just Edom doing it. Here's a judgment because of the sin that Israel was up to.
Yes.
And so he said, don't worry, Edom. You're going to eat all that you can eat. Take all that you can take. But you too will
get
eat
drunk, expose yourself. Yes.
But go ahead.
Yes.
I just want people to get a consensus of what this is. Go ahead.
Yes. It says, daughter Zion, your punishment is complete. He will not lengthen your exile, but he will punish your iniquity, daughter Edom, and will expose your sins. And then that's the end of chapter 4.
What does it say? He will not do what with the punishment at the end about Zion? Say it again.
Oh, but he will punish your iniquity, daughter Edom, and he will expose your...
No, before Edom.
Oh, he will not lengthen. I'm sorry. It says, daughter Zion, your punishment is complete. He will not lengthen your exile.
What does that mean?
Cool.
Now, that was Martin Luther King who said we are exiled in our own nation. That's a punishment.
Yeah.
It's a judgment.
Yeah. I just am, reading through this is just overwhelming to understand Scripture. Like, of course, you've read it in the past and venue and stuff, but
and I'm pretty sure there's probably the next chapter got so much more. Just easy.
Yeah, well, that's chapter 5. It doesn't have that much.
That was chapter 5?
Well, that was chapter 4. Then there's chapter 5, and that's it.
Could you read that one?
I sure can, yes, sir. It says, Lord... Yes, why not? We've read all this. Lord, remember what has happened to us. Look and see our disgrace. Our inheritance has been turned over to strangers, our houses to foreigners. We have become orphans, fatherless. Our mothers are widows. We must pray for the water we drink, and our wood comes at a price. We are closely pursued. We are tired, and no one offers rest. We made a treaty with Egypt and with Assyria to get enough food. Our ancestors sinned. They no longer exist. but we bear their punishment. Slaves rule over us. No one rescues us from them.
Who rule over
we
us?
secure.
Hold on. Slaves rule.
Slaves rule over us. Yes.
Go ahead.
That's what it says. No one rescues us from them. We secure our food.
They said the
at the
red
risk
man
of our
worked, the
lives.
Negro rule over the red men.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
We secure our food. At the
I'm cold, girl. I'm cold with it. Go
I
ahead.
know. We secure our food at the risk of our lives because of the sword in the wilderness. Our skin is as hot as an oven. Wait 1 second. I didn't. My apologies.
That's
okay.
incredible.
From the ravages of hunger, women have been raped in Zion, virgins in the city of Judah. Princes have been hung up by their hands. Elders are shown no respect. Young men labor at the millstones. Boys stumble under loads of wood. The elders have left the city gate. The young men their music. Joy has left our hearts. Our dancing has turned to mourning. The crown has fallen from our heads. Woe to us, for we have sinned. Because of this, our heart is sick. Because of these, our eyes grow dim. Because of Mount Zion, which lies desolate and has jackals prowling in it. You, Lord, are enthroned forever. Your throne endures from generation to generation. Why do you continually forget us? Abandon us for the rest of our lives. Lord, bring us back to yourself so we may return. Renew our days as in former times, unless you have completely rejected us and are intensely angry with us. And that is the remainder of Lamentations.
Thank you for every word. Perfect.
Absolutely. Thank you for this space to read it. You all have a good day.
Thank you, Queen. Told you. I ain't got no YouTube page. People be thinking it's a show. It ain't no show. You see? I don't gotta over exalt the truth. I don't gotta tell you about chakras. I don't have to deny nothing about scripture to tell you the truth. If you don't know, you just don't know. But it don't take all that to be able to make sense to the people it need to make sense to. Like Tupac say, why y'all need gold ceilings to talk to me, nigga? Why you need all that to talk to me? We the me, that's us. You don't need all that. We the proof. And that's lamentation. I'm telling you, everything that's being uncovered is about revelation. It's about lining up history like I'm doing with the word. It don't get no more clear than that. When you start seeing concentration camp red crawl in your mind, say, no, wait a minute. That's a revelation. That should make you want to learn. Wait a minute. This has been sitting in front of my face. Yes. That's the curse that was placed on you. Press 1. You don't know what happened to you. Because if you did, judgment will be at hand. That's what you don't understand. They got militaries for motherfuckers like you who like to wake up. Press 1. They build big bombs for individuals like yourself and me and people who brain just get it. You know what I'm saying? You can't run from understanding. You know what I'm saying? You can't. We spend our lives trying to wake up. And we gonna wake up and be this is some conscious shit. You know what I'm saying? I can't just be ignorant. I don't got no $50 million deal. Nobody waving down over my head is, hey, Kev, bro, we pay you for this. You like that Bentley you got? No, I like El Camino on 24-inch IROCs, nigga, hard for the summertime, Leos, California lifestyle. I don't need all that. You feel me? Listen to some oldies with my business on Bye Crip. What I'm saying, what if the Holocaust was done to you? What if this whole, you see, they just took your story about the Indian. What if the Holocaust is about you? What if you began to realize, and wait a minute, did we go through any concentration? Did no black people went through? What did Germany do with black people? You start asking these questions, like, were there any German black people who went through the concentration? So they just treated the Jews worse than black people? There was no black German? You understand what I'm saying? And that's when it begins to, like, that's when God want me to think, like, come on, man, hey, think. God like when we use our mind to think about what hellish position we put ourselves in, and what type of mind control we are under. If you want to believe that America with the waving flag with the gold fringe is somehow free people and for you, fine, that's not a problem. Everybody think that. We was all born and raised to think that. That's okay. But don't get mad at me for looking within, seeing deeper. Y'all made the movie The Matrix. You shouldn't have did it. You shouldn't have did it. There's a point. Hitler did make a statement about God's people.
Unknown caller.
Hitler is a white supremacist. Hitler's a white supremacist. Y'all some damn Hitler supporters. Coffee and Kush TV. You on the air.
Good morning, Professor. This is Big Two calling me.
Big Two in the building. Watching Waterworld love Adolf Hitler because he made a point about the statement about fuck Hitler. Fuck Hitler. Cat Gills making a damn statement. Fuck Hitler.
Yes, you are. In a major way.
Go ahead, King. Go ahead.
You see, after listening to the scripture, just those 3 books, those 3 little small chapters in that book, that one book there.
Go ahead.
I got, come out of her, return back to me, and the blind man now can see once you return back to me. A lot of people are saying, it's a miracle in the Bible. The analogy of the scripture was, you touch the blind man and not a blind man.
Come on.
But once you come back into him, the curse is lifted.
That's right.
You can see everything.
That's
clear
right.
in front of you.
Talk to him, King.
That's the bottom line right there. And I'm sitting here, I'm like,
man, Big Two, that's what I'm talking about. This is why the Son of Man was raised up on the pole. So to reverse the curse.
Yes, that's the curse.
Y'all don't understand.
And I'm like, that's the Lion King.
For his glory, you hear it?
That's the Lion King. Come back to him. Just like, what's his name again?
Reverse the curse.
Come back home, Simba.
You
come back home, Simba. What Rafiki said? He hit him in the head. But the truth can hurt. The past hurt, the truth hurt, but come back home. That's it. That scripture just gave me all that right there.
That's right.
I'm
glad it did.
That's it.
I'm glad it did because you helped me realize more. See, but that's why the Son of Man was lifted up, Big Two. The Son of Man was lifted up.
I got hold
on. Now what you said was important. The Son of Man was lifted up to reverse the curse that was set on the people. Now listen to me.
It has to be the man.
Now listen to me. To reverse the curse, the Son of Man had to be lifted up and die for the sins of the people.
Yep. Of his people. He had to die. He had to.
Yeah.
So he could come back. You see, that's the resurrection. But they don't understand that neither.
No, they will.
That's the resurrection.
We gotta stop thinking the people who don't understand when they do. They're beginning to realize they have to. It's gonna come a
But
point.
they don't want.
You know, you understand. You are beginning to understand. For His glory, to each his own understanding. For His glory understands this at a deeper level. Marley understands this at a different level. B from Ohio understands this shit at a different level. Amanda
I've been here.
Understands this shit at a different level. You know what I'm saying? You see, you gotta see what they say, Marley. What do you say, Marley? There's not nothing to it but to look. Yeah, you look at the Son of Man. The curse is reversed. The blindness of what this world is you'll be able to see.
You're gonna see everything. And
you can see, can't you? You can see a little bit. It's becoming more clear what this extermination program really was.
Yes. Every day I go in I read a little bit, I'm here. You know, I'm just working my dailies and stuff like that. And I get back into the word, and sometimes you pass over stuff, not having complete meaning. And me, I'm one of those people where you have to interact to learn.
Me too. I gotta interact to teach, nigga. I gotta interact to teach. You feel me? I love it.
You see how and that's how I learn.
I get bored.
If you all boring and dry, I can't grab nothing from it. But you give it some life and entertainment in this teaching, and that was our spell. That was our spell, our curse on it. The entertainment to people in a goddamn dormant state. But when you learn in the entertainment, well, guess what? We locked in.
Right.
That's it. That's all we need to do is get locked in on a certain level, on a certain frequency.
I hope they get it. That's what you got to be smart to get on that frequency. Thank you for the call, Big Two.
Oh yeah, I appreciate you, brother.
Oh man, hell yeah, you got to be understanding. See, everybody can't wake you up. Kev wake you up. What did he say? B from Ohio? No, you just look. You see? Why did the Christ raise himself up there? So you can look. That's why. That's why. To look. It gonna cost you a dollar to look. That's what it's about right there. Whatever it takes to get you to look. Whatever it takes, you know. It's important. You know, I ask these questions because it's like the world is afraid to ask, to tell you the truth. I think it was your bloodline that went through the concentration camps. They tried to say, what happened to all those millions of black people? You would never think it because you think you got lost in the water in Africa somewhere. You would never think. You would never think, especially if we control your media, you would never think what happened. You would never think about it. All the signs are you got to be a highly intelligent individual to even see through this veil. Press one. I thought Lil Fee, young Pharaoh, was the smartest man on earth. He couldn't show you this veil. He couldn't show you what's behind it. He couldn't show you this. Facts. He couldn't show you. And I was shots at him, but just letting you know. It's just too much truth. It's just too much. What For His Glory was reading, that's confirmation. That wasn't written yesterday when we was born. That's not written in the process of us learning. That was already written. You feel me? Now you see why I believe in the word, because it proves itself. I ain't got to wishful think. All I got to do is read it. There it is right there. Validation. 424-209-9506. You got to be smart. We going into floods and what happened and what the flood was and why. This is the why. This is the why. No, you are cursed. This is your curse. That's why Tupac said, we probably in hell already. Our dumb asses not knowing. Everybody kiss that ass to go to heaven ain't going. I put my soul on it. Facts. Facts. All these people deal in time immemorial. I see Danya Allah. Y'all just gonna run with that, huh? Time immemorial. Y'all interested in that? I like that because, you know, without that's the dream world. You know, it's 1300 AD, BC, and all this other stuff that don't have nothing to do with the highway robbery. Press 1. Ain't got nothing to do with it. You took it, you stole it, you got to deal with the truth. Judgment, you can't escape fate. Press 1. Shout out to my Cash App. Let me see who out here. Mr. Pittman. Always supporting the truth. Shout out to you, King. Mrs. Moore. Shout out to you, Queen. Mrs. Anjanita Moore. Light skin with a little bounce. Mrs. Jamie Lee. She just contributed to the show. Shout out to you, Queen. I'm glad that you really learning. Hey, you learned it. You noticed something, Jamie Lee? We ain't never stopped teaching. It would just go to a different height every time. I forgot who said every. I think that was Ali. It don't even matter no more. Ali somewhere kicking back, smoking a joint with his shoes off. Press 1, watching the show. Like, this nigga never seems to amaze me. I'm probably Ali's favorite show. I'm gonna ask Bocat. I'm probably his favorite show. He probably just, this nigga don't took shit to a whole other level. That's what it's about. You know, we're supposed to think and continue to think and continue to grow and know, and we behind. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mrs. Moore. Rashida Taylor, shout out to you, Queen. Of course, shout out to you, my man Jason Wells, B from Texas, of course. Shout out to you. And Mr. Montgomery. Mr. Montgomery, shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate that. Yeah, Pac was trying to tell us he was young. Press 1. He's young. Saying it. He's young. He was a young man. Shout out to Barham Jr. Tupac is young. You know how many songs that you can listen to now with this truth and go back and listen? You be crying around here. You have a real memorial on Black History Month. You go back and listen to some damn Tupac now. Go listen to everything they owe. You be like, damn, they really had to get rid of him. It wasn't even about no thug life. You 30 years late, it wasn't even about thug life. This motherfucker was like a musical motherfucking revolutionary poet. You know, he saying shit that's like, what? Even, and we were just reading in Lamentations. I'm gonna show y'all how spiritual that nigga is. I'm gonna show y'all right now. I'm gonna rinse and strike. We were just reading Lamentations, right? And what was the person doing? He's a delegate. He's speaking on behalf of you. He said, our women is out here. These dudes is out here. But he's pleading with the Lord. He's on behalf of the nation. And that's what Pac was doing. That's what he called himself doing. Pleading on behalf of the nation to God at the sacrifice of his career, of all the things that you know, once you find out the truth, that stuff don't even matter no more. At the sacrifice of the character Tupac Shakur, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, Pac. Because you got Tupac every day. You know, there's the morning, there's the early morning, there's late night where you're just chilling in yourself, and you know what I'm saying? You're like, damn. You know, I had to even embrace that, like, damn. I'm just Kev. I'm Kev, you know what I'm saying? I'm Kev. You know, this ain't my life. I never did nothing, had to go through nothing like that until I start talking about this. You feel what I'm saying? If I was talking about that other shit, I'd be on No Jumper. I'd be all over the fucking airways. Press one all over the place. Long, skinny nigga, super stylistic, all this extra shit. But no, that's cool. But what's important to me, the real Kev, is this type of information. You know, this type, this 100% potent. You know, they can't fuck with. You know. Nobody can battle me on this information. My enemy's sitting in the back getting all like, damn, that nigga cold with it. That's when you know you cold. Remember my little super troll? He in the back chilling. That nigga don't hit the weed and forgot he was a troll. And I don't put so much knowledge in that nigga brain, he can't even troll. He off his mark. He didn't fuck you. Oh man, I'm in your class and I am, bro. That nigga over there, oh bro, he's a new man. I'ma beat you with info. I'ma beat you, praise one. I'ma beat your hate and envy. So what? I'm telling the truth. And I believe in God. So I'm talking to you. I'm not even talking to you. I'm not your grandma. If I was around you and your grandma would be like, you better listen to this young man, press one. You better listen to this young man, press one. I got Kev, you want something to eat? If you knew who I was, your grandma will hear this convo, your mama, your dad, Kev, you hungry, bro? All the rest of you niggas, you want something from Carlos Jr., bro? Kev, ride with me real quick, bro. I want to talk to you about something. Talk to me about what? No, I just want to eat hot dogs, go get some weed, buck them old dumbass niggas. I'm just trying to tell you, bro. And to get on this level, press one. You need to start thinking about Kevin Samuels and what women ain't doing and worry about what the fuck you know in this earth. Press one so you can meet the right one. Fuck you want a high value female for if she can't talk to you? What you want a high value man for? He ain't nothing on his brain. Press one. The same things that's on your brain. Fashion, clothes and fingernails and shit. Press one. Nigga in the mirror on TikTok just as much as you. We both on TikTok. The black family in 2021, 2022 is we gotta be on TikTok, all of them. (424-209-9506).
Unknown caller.
Unknown caller. That's what I'm talking about. Feel me? I just want to talk today. Coffee and Kush TV. It's 2:00 on the East Coast. You on the air? What up?
Hi, this is Lita from Ohio.
Ohio in the building. What's up with you?
Yeah. I was calling
I just want to say I'm sorry about the Super Bowl. We kicked y'all ass. But
I don't care about that.
But it's all good. It's just always next year, and y'all be back. I just, and
I'm from Cleveland.
Okay. So you're a Browns. I'm a Browns fan, but it's some.
I don't even subscribe to. I just stopped watching football. I used to be a Browns fan back when
I got you.
John Elway used to beat us all the time, and we
Joe
used to be
Montana was in the league, and these names like Boomer Esiason was around and things like this. I stopped watching after that.
Back in the day. Yeah.
Go ahead.
And we still there. But the reason why I called you, I was thinking about calling because it's so much confusion around being Native American Indian, and because I had the pleasure of meeting and growing up with my great grandmother that was born in 1918. And it's on my mother's side.
Oh, right.
I know you always follow the father side, but this is the one that I actually.
That's great.
And and so I actually remember her as when I was young, just always saying that her grandfather was an Indian chief. As a little kid, and everything we wanted to do was not be labeled as Indian because that meant you thought you was better than somebody and all this kind of stuff with the, back when we was growing up with the good hair and whatever and all that.
It gave you a sense of status and nobility. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what I was thinking, and I also did my own personal research on my family, and I see that, that also her father, which I saw the census from 1930, And he was born in 1850, and some of the census say that he was a Negro, some say mulatto. But basically what I was calling about is that I was just wondering, and I'm still doing my research to really find out specifically about my own family, but just like how we nowadays say we're black, but we really not black, is not,
yes,
ethnicity or anything like that. So I'm trying to kind of figure out if that's where I'm having a little blurred line, is because I have to know that my great grandmother actually told me something, and I'm trying to figure out too, because I'm like, well,
what did she mean by Indian?
Yeah, well, right. Like, she said he was an Indian chief.
Yes.
So I'm like,
but we just watched a movie where there were Negro Indian chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'm saying, so it's kind of like
the
lines get so blurred when we keep going by, like all these titles, all these names we given, and so it's like right now, we really don't. We're not black, but like even when you put stuff up in my black conservative, you know what I'm saying, like.
Right.
So it's like I'm thinking about that too. So I'm like, it's so much to figure out.
So you're trying to say Indian was just a term that we would call ourselves, being the Native American.
Right.
Was it as common as calling ourselves black? Quite possibly, because it seems we were beat on paperwork with the term Native American.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it gave that status to someone else on the federal paperwork when assimilating who gets payment for the allotted the lots, land ownership, and being used. Those are the this is insane, but those are the contracts which enables the federal government. Those are actually the taxes, the kickback. And by now they're in the millions.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I really didn't have too much, but you just triggered it. And when I've been wanting to call and call in at the right time, and then you just said, my grandmama would say, listen to you. And I'm like, I'm listening, and I'm learning a lot.
Because
and
it's kind of difficult because we get lost in little terms. But that's why I simplified it with the Seminole Indian. Like, you can just see that there was a specific Dawes role to get those other names off and make them kinda, and to turn our people into colored or some type of color of law, meaning nothing, like children forever. It's kind of like minors. Yeah,
it is very sad, but it's so good to know that we waking up and that we gonna get there, and the nation is gonna be restored and back to, because everything right now to me, and always all my life, I felt out of order. It just didn't feel right, and the wrong people are in charge. People that are don't have God in their heart, so it's not gonna work, and it got to be flipped to the right way.
Now, can I ask you a question? What do you think about these the possible Red Cross concentration camps, and thinking back in World War I, World War II, and quite possibly they could have been the ones running these concentration camps of old, where they allegedly wiped out a lot of people with gas?
I believe that definitely can happen. And for one thing, I work for a hospital.
Okay.
And I just have, it's just a feeling or an idea or something. I don't know if it's just in my head, in my spirit, or whatever it is, but I just feel like it's just something nefarious. And I have been doing research on all these companies that hide behind, I know you don't really get into like people that are part of Masonic temples and all that kind of stuff.
And a lot of these Shriners and these people who are Shrining brothers and stuff like that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I believe that that's exactly what it is. It's like all these hospitals, not all of them, but a lot of the hospitals or those Red Cross or things that's supposed to be in charity and in sight, but are hidden behind some
Dubious fucking.
I'm trying to be careful because I know how.
It's like a scary movie. If a black person can really write a movie about what we think this really is, this would be fucking insane. These people, all type of shit. Somebody brought to my attention they get a lot of plasma and blood as well. So, it can run pretty deep. If you put enough thought
and then just the culture of those places, and they're like when you say about policies, and they put the policies, the P in policies, these type of companies, that corporate way, and then it's just like just even things that they do is just not even like it's all about the company, and that's forefront and people and the people that's doing the work, and because they need us to do these jobs,
right?
But for some reason we are looked at as second class citizens or
third and
whatever.
Fourth class. You got to remember.
Oh yeah, well 100.
The $5 Indian is a collection of all nations coming in and nationalizing themselves through you.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
So I see that. I understand what you're saying.
By way
and
of the dolls rolls and the plecker and all of these things. But go ahead. Manifest Destiny, they said this was God's intent, in which it kind of was. I ain't gonna lie, that's a cold curse. But just like we just read in Lamentation, he ain't gonna punish. Our imprisonment or our exile isn't forever. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's just so much to digest sometimes, and I want to say everything, but it's just like not everything like I know everything, but just
I know what you mean.
It's like I don't even know where to stop because the nefarious things that have gone on, they've been going on for too long, and it's this time, and this is the time, and I'm so glad to see brothers, sisters, black, white, whomever believe in God to work on this so that our eyes are open,
right?
Because they just been closed, like with the entertainment, and it's just out of control. It's just out of control. But with things like this, and to me, I love it. I didn't get to see the beginning because I was doing something else, and I caught it, and sometimes I have to just go back and listen to it from the beginning.
Listen to it.
Because I seen that video that you were playing when those black people, they didn't want them to be included as part of the Indians and all that.
That was the whole part of the Dawes Roll. That's the separation. We read that in the Bible.
Yeah.
Like those exact words. We watched the video and she reads it out the scripture damn near word for word. So I'm just in awe of how that even comes together that way.
Yes. The work you're doing is wonderful. And I love that everybody is participating, and it's an intellectual group. This is a university, because I never subscribed to just
make my merchandise
thinking
for
about
Afro University. You feel
I know. I done learned a lot.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I love that. Man, these sisters in the South and the Midwest, boy, you Cali boys got to get out of L.A. Y'all got to get out of California. That's what I'm going to say. Every person, we should scramble up. Press one. We should play house swap. Press one.
Unknown caller.
Coffee and Kush TV. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, Kev. This is Michelle from Cali. How you doing?
Blessed. What's up, Michelle?
Nothing much. I was just listening to the last caller, and you were talking about Red Cross. And it's so funny that you were talking about concentration camps. And it brought me back, sometimes God puts you in places where you get to see things. And so like reclassification, was able to see similar to that with Houston, with Hurricane Harvey, and how they worked together to restructure and do stuff. Like, for instance, they started with the flood, where water flooded out Houston.
Okay.
Because Houston was primarily black, and you also had like the Toyota Center out there for like the rockets and things like that. So I was able to see how they flooded it out supposedly during a hurricane, and then they put everybody in the convention center where they had Red Cross.
That's right.
And then in the convention center, you had military. You also had CPS. You had the parole department. You also had like all of the government entities were there.
That will be at an asylum. That will be assisting. You see, you got all the government officials there that will be assisting refugees seeking asylum. Go ahead.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Exactly.
Yes, ma'am.
Was
that well said or what? Was that well said or what? Damn, I'm good.
It just got me shaking because it was just so crazy. It bothered me like how they did it, because like Houston was predominantly black, and it had a lot of drugs, and you know how the whole system does us and all of that. I don't have to get into that.
Yes.
But it was a very lucrative area. So what they did was they came in and kind of like, I get it to a degree, but we know it's a business. And I play this little game where you build up your own towns and stuff like that. So it helped me kind of understand as well what they were doing with the income tax and things like that, building up the city. And so I saw how they wiped them out with water, like maritime law. So you flood them out, and then you put them in peril, and then you put them in a concentration camp with Red Camp and all of that, with Red Cross and, you know, all the government entities and things like that in place. Where in kidnapping rings, CPS, you make sure they right there snatch up children and all of that shit at the same time. And then you restructure, and then you restructure and rebuild,
reconstruct
Houston. Exactly. And that's what they did. Reconstructed the whole area after Hurricane Harvey. It was a whole reconstruction area. They had a song to come out, and, you know, all of that on building up Houston.
And yes, and the media is there to make it look like, oh, we're helping people, passing out water, but the plan was already made to submerge the city, and it's just a continuance of flood and rebuild, X them out, they have no land, and they're out.
Exactly. You flood them out, you put them in the concentration camp, and then you rebuild, and you put it under the guise of helping, but you're really not helping them. You're actually placing them somewhere else. But at the same time,
you see this scenario in 1827 or late 1800s with mass floods and these so-called Red Cross, and they say where the black people was. Now, do you have an idea on where the black people was?
Yes, in mental institutions, all of that. I saw people because I happened to be.
Now, does it make sense that they will be seeking asylums or a mental institution, but asylum after being deemed refugee?
Yes, because a lot of the people that they were helping in Houston during this reclassification that were black, they were helping them if you deemed yourself to be crazy, blind, crippled, whatever, and they were giving you permanent housing for lifetime.
Yes.
You know,
damn, they over there helping people. No, that's the allotted lots all over again. They're repeating history, destroying you again.
Exactly.
It's like the Matrix. He said we destroyed Zion 6 times. Damn it. and we're going to destroy it again. And now I see exactly we got to destroy these people every so odd, because giving it back to them is out of the question.
Exactly. You got to give them peril with water.
That's
keep
right.
them under maritime law, flood them out, and then restructure. And then a whole bunch of foreigners. If you go into Houston right now, it's flooded with foreigners.
Oh my goodness. They open the floodgates of hell.
Yes. Yes. And push them out. And everybody who played blind, crippled, and crazy to get them a check and thought it was great and don't have to, take care of themselves and live and wanted to.
Are the exact same ones who hopped on the Dawes roll and we just watched them say, "Hey, fuck this out of our own shit," and claimed it was us. And now that all the immigrants got everything that was due to the citizens of Houston. There's some other shit. Yep. Same
and
place.
Everybody that they raped up had to be put into a system. That system.
And then they be system to say they white.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're going to bring them over from Syria. We're going to bring them over from Afghanistan. And then we're going to train them up and be citizen, to be immigrant for some benefits. Immigrants for benefits 2022. Ain't that a bitch?
Homeland Security, all of that was right there. The whole military. They even built a Homeland Security right downtown in Houston. And on top of that, merged Walmart, because Walmart been the main one who comes in under Red Cross and all of this demonic stuff as well.
Maybe they need natural disaster to keep the lie going. I get it now. Like California just got to catch fires to be natural emergency. The state is under. Louisiana just got a flood. Texas just got it. You know what I'm saying? All our shit just, for some reason, history, these places have to be always under emergency, like some type of code or something. Go ahead.
Yes, it's always something to do with water, flooding it out.
Yes. What you know about riparian laws?
I don't know much about that.
You brought up maritime law, so I thought you knew about riparian. What is that called? Riparian. What was that? Amanda. Riparian. She talked about riparian rights. Are riparian a law relating to or situated on the banks of a river. All the riparian states must sign an agreement. So what? River stream, all that. Well, see, all this got shit to do with over flooding. That's what she meant by this. Shit, you connect all them streams together all over America from north to south and flood them every now and then. Yeah, you be under and me submerged this whole time. If it's connected to these streams or by way of water and shit like this, riparian rights. Yeah. Riparian rights.
Wow, yeah, they're doing a lot of.
Check this out. A riparian grant is a deed from the state of New Jersey for the sale of its tide lands, also known as riparian lands. Obtaining a riparian grant is not mandatory, however. But riparian rights. Okay, water rights. Oh my goodness!
Wow. So they also included that in there. So, like you said, anything that's under the water is theirs.
Yes, ma'am. Is a system of allocating water among those who possess land along its paths. So, goodness.
No wonder why they wanted control over the dams and things like that.
Bingo.
First. Wow.
In its original English common law, riparian water rights exist in many jurisdictions with a common law heritage, such as Canada, Australia, and the states in the eastern United States, like Virginia and stuff like that. But that's crazy.
So So when they say they blew up the levees in Louisiana and flooded it out, that wasn't the first time they did that shit.
They did it in 1827.
Our generation.
They did it in 1827. It's called the Great Flood. They admitted they blew the levees.
Wow, they the ones who caused that flood in Louisiana. They blew up. Everybody heard an explosion before Louisiana flooded out. Wow.
In 1927, I think it was the Great Flood of 1927 and the treatment of blacks. Woo! Woo! Yes. Here we go.
The same game for years on us. Wow.
The Johnstown flood of 1889. See, this is how I like my student. This is how the mud floods happen, when they flooded you out and they reset and brought all they people over here. I already know.
They gather you up. They gather you up, put you in places, put you under their company, and under that you got rules and stipulations. You got CPS, you got all of that shit where it can start. Yes, and put you in a whole system. Yes, and have you in a whole system where your name is given, all of that stuff like that. Exactly. Because you got to show identification and all of that shit to go in.
Yep. That's crazy.
Yeah, they got police at the door, everything. Military.
Insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, that is wild how they've been doing the same thing. Wow.
It's the same trickery over and over and over again. And the way they treated us during these times. And, looking at the map they use, I'm going to be real. It looked like the Louisiana Purchase. Remember, Louisiana's Purchase was purchased for so cheap, $15 million for all that middle America. I think it's because it was flooded lands and they thought they took everything that they could.
I was just going to say that. Of course, if you didn't deem it valuable, you'd give it away for nothing.
Yes, because I got a map on the screen. This is a part of the movie, but this is Louisiana. But you can see how they can flood and snatch up middle America and have East and West fighting forever and ever. Especially if you flood right up north from, Michigan, up north, Canada. And them floods come all the way down. You know how many dams is over there?
Yeah, and you can come in through the middle and then bring them in through the Pacific and also through New York and cover all sides. They came in like military on our ass.
They came in and split the nation. There you go. That's what I need. Right? That mindset. You can see it. People cut right through the middle. Yep.
Wow.
And as the water recedes, they start riparian rights and owning and sectioning off what they want, and the rest they say manifest destiny, go get land out east, go race whatever you let your plot, that's the lot you get, it's nothing.
And I bet that would all follow the trail of tears, they call it. Boy, that's cold-blooded. Woo, boy, that is cold. They came in like what? And it's so crazy. They came in military style on our ass, straight from the middle, without us even suspecting that, and just came in on all sides on us. Like the scripture
now these
said.
black people, they got looking like slaves. These are people at the internment camps, at the Red Cross. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, clothes they had to put that they put them in, hand-me-downs and used shit they put them in while they were having world fairs, showing the fake actors and shit playing like they Indian and all kinds of stuff. Yes, taking over the whole night. That's crazy.
Yes, ma'am. But guess what? It's people like you. It's people like you and shows like this and people like the other folk who call in who make it worth our while to even keep this information going. The flood of 1927, the treatment of black folk coming up next. on the show. Thank you for the call, Queen.
And thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Have a good day.
Yes, ma'am. I love when she calls. She just, everybody is excited about the energy, about the information. Everybody you should be excited. There's not a chance that you get to talk with people who think like you. We all got to talk a certain way and be around folk. And really, we be thinking about other things. We ain't even into what other people be into. We be trying to fit into other people's world. And I just think that's where we go wrong. I think is you be yourself. Smart is cool. Smart is attractive. Smart is okay. It's okay to be smart. We've been conditioned to be like hood niggas and not smart. And that's just a facade put on us by somebody else. We really some bright individuals. You know, the devil is emerging through the emergency. You get it? You get it? Shout out to you, Steph. Now you see. The devil is emerging. So you got the Red Cross. What did you send me yesterday? Love. The Red Cross with the healing serpent inside with the belly of the Baphomet logo in the middle of the... That's all that is. Press 1. You got it right there, Steph. The devil is emerging through the emergency. You got it? Kev Rowe. Only at the U. Hit that like button. Hit that subscription. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, of course. Make sure I'm gonna smoke this with y'all. Make sure you contribute to the show at Cash App. My cash tag is Gills Gang for the truth. Join the Patreon. Patreon.com/Kev Gills TV. Just because. Ain't no real sales pitch. I don't want to sales pitch it because that's where the money reside, where the truth reside, right there. Just like that, where the truth reside, right there. Coffee and Kush TV. You want to function with your boy? You want to take notes? You better be serious. This type of information don't come from making logos. Sorry, Coop. Press 1. No, buddy. You got to put your fucking thinking cap on. And most people don't like to think, so we got to do it for them. No, we got to do it for them. The Great Floods, the concentration camps. Is it making sense? The such and such, and that's coming up. So if you support the show, hit that like button and subscribe. I'll give it a second. Maybe some more people up in here want to call in. 424-209-9506. Shout out to the people. See, now we get into Riparian. Remember the fallen state of Atlantis? Atlantis is where kings and queens dwell. Press 1. Atlantis is where kings and queens dwell. What you think, that's far? What you think all of these stories is? Press 1. What you think King David and what you think Aquaman and this stuff? What you think it was divided and destroyed? And for what? What happened? Disobeying God. Disobeying, just too damn. Not ambitious. Oh no, you start thinking you God. Now, if niggas walking around the earth putting little candles in the middle while they doing yoga positions, talking about if they think they God, what you would really do with some knowledge, your ass would be really around here, really playing a role. Press 1. You can't give you a little science project without you thinking your Pharaoh turned into look what he turned into. Give him one task, they motherfucker go, oh man, damn it. Y'all think it's you, that's the problem. The Great Flood of 1927, the Louisiana Purchase. We're talking World War II time. We're talking, I don't even separate World War I from World War II from the Indian War or none of that, because you the Indian. You understand? Press what? I just want you to be aware of the ideological subversion and the racist machine you live in. and not to panic. Don't fear it. You've been living in this shit. You watch Donald Duck. He up there talking about Mein Kampf. He Nazi shooting at Indians on WB Network. You ain't thought nothing, so don't worry about it. Don't get caught up in the feelings and emotion because it's already written. Just be thank God that it's revealing itself in this form to where you can understand it. And many other people do it the way that they do it, as long as they don't exclude the Heavenly Father, who this divine plan is orchestrated by. I ain't got no problem with them. You heard? Press 1. Atlantia was the Louisiana purchase. What you mean by that, Big Two? Atlantis? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like the water rights was kind of robbed. It was robbed by way of water rights. That what protected you also was like the downfall. Now I'm not saying, oh, you got to do something. No, God is good. Remember, you got to go through a process of washing your mind, of thinking. And like I said, Derek told me yesterday. I said, Derek, I asked him something yesterday.
Unknown
I don't
caller.
want to answer that. That's irrelevant. I was thinking I'm thinking fucked up. He was mad because bro, primitive for real, bro. We gotta understand it's the you. It's all about the learning growth. Coffee and Kush TV. You on the air? What up?
How you doing, Professor? This is Big Two calling in. You answered your own question.
What's that?
And what you just explained earlier with the maps. He said Atlanta was lost on the sea.
Oh.
Atlanta was lost on the sea. With riparian law, that's your explanation right there. This is Atlanta. They flooded it, and they took everything. That's why you're dead at sea.
You got it.
Now you understand that the Red Cross replaced everything. They come bring everybody else in. So, but we already just answered that and had confirmation that it's the discussion in class. And that's why I feel like, because I already know the old maps, and that's the confirmation. That's why they call you orphans. They can't send you to Africa. They can't send you. You're orphan to every nation because you're Atlantean. Right here. That's it.
So
that's all I want to say. That's the Louisiana Purchase.
Well, damn, thank you.
Atlanta was the Louisiana Purchase.
All right, then. All right, player. All right.
All right, player.
My man. But that makes sense. See, I like that type of stuff. I like so, you know, they did say Atlantis was flooded out. That's crazy. That's crazy. But not only that, I used to put in my Discord about Aquaman and stuff like that. We've been on this information, and the uncovering of it is just a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. You know, so we're going to get into the great floods of the early 1900s that put forth a lot of these things. We're going to talk more about the concentration camps. We're going to talk more about the Red Cross. We're going to talk more about what happened to the black people, the mud floods, and the Great Reset tonight on Coffee and Kush TV, night after row. If not tonight, first thing in the morning, but I do want to talk about this as soon as possible, but I gotta grab some lunch. Your boy Kev Gills TV, Professor Kev Gills, and as always, family, I'll holla.